livening. That's the term we use in the business.
In the biz.
in the biz.
It is a little known fact.
We call the business the biz.
Yeah,
Insider
Right.
info.
I love it because like you're actually in the business of
Yeah.
show.
That's exactly what we call it.
Yeah, the business of
The,
show.
the biz.
The biz. Good. Are y'all ready? Like I feel very ready.
I'm ready.
Ready?
Absolutely.
Got all my note cards updated. Tay, did I tell you you inspired me, and now I'm using
Yeah.
OneNote.
How do you like
I
it?
like it. All right, so I like it. I used to use it in the past, but I haven't used it. I haven't used it for session prep. And what I realized recently is that I love having all my monster stat blocks on one page. And with OneNote, I can just basically take pictures of my stat blocks and put them in a document. And now I've got them all. So whether it's from something on D&D Beyond, or whether it's from another book, like today we're going to be checking out some. Well, if we're lucky, we're going to get to run into some monsters from the Flea Mortals book, the upcoming Flea Mortals book by the folks over at MCDM.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
No, I actually a friend of mine, she plays in our personal game. She was like, "Do you use OneNote?" Because we were showing each other our notes, and I was like, "No, what's that?" So she changed my life for sure.
Nice.
And it's nice that everyone can have access to the notes, But I can still hide my own character backstory notes behind a password.
A paywall.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah.
Pay me $1,000. You can
And
see Essie's backstory.
I've been guessing every horse breed and haven't found it yet, but I'm going to crack that code. Just give me time.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to figure out my favorite horse breed and then go from there.
Clydesdale.
Wrong.
That's mine.
I just picture that's everyone's. They're so cool.
That's already beyond my knowledge of horse breeds, right?
I was going to say, I think that might be the only one I can name. So yes, by default.
Mm-hmm. Remember the first time I saw a Clydesdale in person? I'm like, this is a beast. This is a monster.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
Like they're little furry fetlocks too. They're just like so
Something little about them.
true, but they're so
They're
cuddly.
giants.
Like they're so sweet. The gentle giants.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, it would be really bad to have a sassy Clydesdale. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
you're not winning in that situation.
So the Budweiser Clydesdales,
Yes.
hashtag not sponsored. When I showed llamas, we were like in the same barn with them a few times, and it was just amazing to watch like their handlers like loving on them, and like they would take them and like just literally sit on the floor and like scrub their feet, and their feet are like this
Massive.
big, and
Mhm.
there was just like so much trust there, but it was so sweet to see like the bond that they had, and yeah, they're really lovable.
Mm-hmm.
You used to show llamas.
I love that
Yes.
like Paula just keeps dropping like little bits like that. Like
The
Oh,
lore
my
is
shirt.
is really good.
Oh,
Oh
dang.
my gosh.
So now I need to ask
Champion.
for a hashtag llama fact.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that for a long time. Went to the national level competition.
there's competitive llama showing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man.
There's competitive
blowing-
everything, Jason.
This is blowing
Yeah.
me away right now.
Have you seen like the dog trials where they run the dogs through obstacles and stuff?
Yes.
There are competitions with llamas that are somewhat like that, except you don't run them through, you like walk them through obstacle courses, and you do really fun stuff with them. There's costume competitions that I did where you
Yeah,
like dress
that. I
up
like that a lot.
with your llama as like, we did like all kinds of really fun costumes. I'll have to show some pictures. I'll post some pictures in the Discord.
Oh, actually, that brings us to a great point. So, folks, if you're here, you're watching the 10 minutes of Best Left Buried where we bullshit and wait for you all to get here before our actual show starts in 3 minutes at 1 Central Time. If you are interested in llama pics, you want to beg Taya for some of Essie's backstory, any of that, the place to do it is in our Discord. Someone is going to be cool enough to post a link in the chat.
Done.
Oh, see, there we go. Already there. But get in on some of these llama facts, horse facts, competitive llama dressing.
I feel like
sort
that's
of
our
deal.
next one shot.
Right.
Question
Mhm.
mark is competitive llama costume.
Competitive
Totally.
llama costumes. Yep.
Totally. I'm down.
Spitting target practice.
Yeah.
Spitting is no joke, I will tell you.
Tweew.
That's
They
the thing.
actually
Like llamas
terrify
spit.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
Jason.
smells vile because it's
What?
like
In the world.
it's like they regurgitate this food that they've been digesting for like days.
Oh, okay. So llamas
Yum.
are gross also. Good.
Hmm.
They're
Yeah.
amazing. I love them.
You think it's acid damage? It's necrotic damage.
Yeah.
It's necrotic,
exactly.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think if it were me, it would be psychic.
Psychic damage.
That too.
A nosebleed as soon as
dare
it hit. That's right. Get off.
Why would you do this to me?
Yeah. All right. Y'all ready for today? Are you
I am.
excited?
Yes.
Good.
So ready.
I'm really excited. I've been really hoping to put y'all in some deeply terrible situations. So fingers crossed.
Now I'm scared.
Just like a little bit of fear. That's all I'm shooting for. Is a tiny bit of fear.
That's it. It's not D&D if you're not afraid at all.
You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, I guess we're about at time. Y'all ready to do this? Folks at home, feeling ready? Doesn't matter. We're going anyway. Hey, folks. Hello and welcome to episode 12 of Best Left Buried. We're really excited to have you here. I am Jason. I'm your game master, hence the name GM Jason. See down there somewhere. And today we're joined by our super awesome cast, starting on my left.
Yes, which is me. My name is Taya. I'm playing Elspeth Pike. We're level 5 now, Artificer Half Elf. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm here today, although we kind of already talked a little bit about it, but to tell you to come join our Discord. We have so much fun stuff that goes on there. We love talking to our fans behind the scenes, just about life and different things, but we also have character art that drops there that you won't see anywhere else. We have behind the scenes letters, and we also have just things that happen in between episodes, kind of downtime filler. But then also we have recently showed you what we did when we leveled up. So it's very exciting. Come join us there. Excuse me. We would love to have you.
Yes, thank you. I'm Paula. Hello, I play Kit, and she is a level 5 now, Street Thief Rogue, and I'm here to tell you about our social media. We have social media on Twitter, and why is my mind blanking? I practice this so much. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And Twitter is really the source of truth for all of our updates, announcements, scheduling things, fun memes and jokes, and all kinds of interesting stuff. Josh runs that. It's really great. And we also have some funny clips on our TikTok. There's a few new ones on there to go check out. And yeah, you can find all of those at Heroes Die Show. And yeah, check it out. We would love to have your support there.
Yes, and speaking of support, we also have a page. Oh, I'm Josh, by the way. Hello, and I'll be playing Zagran Beltune. And yeah, speaking of support, to go back on the segue, we also have a Patreon, never required. The show is always free, but if you want something extra, you can support the show and keep the lights on here. We have a lot of cool things that you're not going to find other places. We have a one-shot micro RPG and modules to go with that. We have 5e content, such as the contest made by Jason. We have a solo RPG if you want to play a game, but nobody's around to play. First, check our Discord. Ask us if we want to play. So to go back to that. But if not, then we also have a solo RPG for you. And new content every month. I just saw a preview of what's to come for next month, and it's super cool. And that's all available at patreon.com/heroesdieshow. I'm not sure that there's an @ sign there, but try it both ways. You'll find us. And there's also a discount code to our merch store.
And I am Mike. I will be playing Soleus. He's a shadow monk. And I'm here to talk to you about Big Cartel and all the wacky, fantastic stuff that you can get there, such as a mug with Heroes Die logo on it. Who doesn't want this to represent your, I want to say, second favorite RPG, TTRPG? Because, you know,
Wow.
everyone goes after the, you know. But, you know, when you need a runner-up, we're
I
there
think we're
for
going to
you.
strive to be the number one for sure.
I mean, we're striving for it. Yes. And when our numbers get up there, then, I mean, you know what? If you want our numbers to get up there, head on down to Big Cartel, represent us, show us around, show us to your parents, have
They'll
them make
love
a
us.
character. Yeah. And
Hi, Mom.
that's yeah. Hey, everybody's moms.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
No
Thanks so
problem.
much for that, Mike.
No
So
problem.
speaking of saying thanks, let's say thanks to Mike for all the incredible artwork that we have on this show, because
Oh, yeah.
that's done by none other than the guy who plays the wackiest character in our series, Mike. And that's true, whatever series we're playing, by the way. Going past that, right? Want to say thanks to the folks at Tabletop Audio for making awesome audio that we get to listen to and helps us get everybody into a nice spooky place for the right session. Hopefully we're going to keep it real spooky today.
What's the name
beyond
of the
that-
song that you've been choosing? What's the name
well,
of it?
there's a lot of different songs. Nightmare was a good one, of course. Of course, Terror in the Woods seemed pretty good, but we're gonna see. We've
That's a
got
classic.
got a mix of good ones. Defiled Temple, you know, don't want to forget classics like that.
I listen to Defiled Temple when I want to go to sleep.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, with
I
that,
definitely do not.
with that, we're going to talk about so we're going to say thanks for that. We're going to say thanks to the folks at today. With luck, we're going to get at some of the cool monsters from the upcoming Flea Mortals book by the folks at MCDM. So thank you to those folks for making it. And, you know, thanks for all the D&D and TTRPG content creators out there who inspire us, give us good tools and tips for DMing, and give us good examples that we can follow when we're making our own games. And last but not least, thanks to you all for watching, because we're really grateful. We're really grateful to have you here. With that, we're going to go to the intro, and then we're going to start episode 12 of Best Left Buried. See you in a minute.
Ah, old friend, you're here again. So glad you could stop by. Come, sit a while and let's begin. The tale of heroes die. In distant lands are stories made with villains most despised. A tale of magic, strength, and blade, of camaraderie and lies. It's one I know quite well, you see. Perhaps you'll find out why. The legends and the histories remember. Heroes die.
Okay, and we are back. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Let's hop right in and let's see if we can remember what happened last time on episode 11. So if I recall correctly, and y'all please feel free to correct me as needed. If I recall correctly, we started episode 11 with y'all in a desperate fight against this being known as the Hound and some strange undead creatures that were following it. You the Hound ran away, but y'all managed to defeat the undead that it brought with it, and you decided to push on to try and find the minstrel and tankard inn and try and find the man that you'd been searching for, the person who'd been hunting Kit, a character by the name of the Warlock. You pushed on, a few of you went into the inn, and as you were in there, you saw a person fitting their description walk out of the inn and into this square directly in front of the minstrel and tankard inn. While you were there, you got into a confrontation with the Warlock and the Hound. And while you were able to kill the Hound, the Warlock dropped a fireball that nearly killed Calamity, damaged the number of you, and was able to flee using some sort of infernal magic. Following that, you went back to the manoir and chose to commit yourselves fully to the side of Danella Main in this conflict that has taken hold of Eurosa. You've now declared solidly for Danelle's side. You gave her information on what Falchion was trying to do, and then the next day went and met her and had a somewhat intense conversation where you agreed to go visit the house of Chalea the Oracle in exchange for Danelle guaranteeing your safety in Eurosa. That all sound about right? At the same time, I know that Essie worked to forge some papers for Zagrin and Saleus, and Kit had observed a press gang in action, grabbing some folks off the street. And we return to the action with Kit, who is looking out onto the balcony as the press gang rolls through.
So is anyone else around me? Like is Essie in the room or?
So you are on the balcony outside, on the top floor. So no one else is there with you at the moment.
Okay. So, but I've clocked these guys. You said they were very distinctive looking.
And they were moving towards the outside of the town. So they were moving towards the east side of the town with their gang of, it looked like, at least 8 folks that they had in tow by the time they'd made it down the main road.
Okay. I'm going to go back inside and see if I can find Essie.
Absolutely. You head back
I'm probably just at a table, like her musket is on the table and she's just like, again, looking at all the sigils and the runes on it, kind of, she's admiring her own handiwork.
Okay, I'll just slide up into a chair, excuse me, and say, Essie, are you busy?
Not too busy that I can't talk to you. What's going on?
There's something disturbing going on. I know we're busy and we've got a lot to do, but there's a press gang here.
A press gang?
They're
Right
kidnapping people off the street. They're headed east, out to the city.
Have I, in the time that I've spent in this area with my parents before, have I heard of this happening recently?
The time you've spent in this area, so
When I was in
no,
Shattengrad?
you haven't heard of this in particular lately. However, you do know that with the war on, it makes sense for the king to be calling calling up some of his vassals to raise their levies and join him in the war. So it's quite possible that either the Crown's Guard, or much more likely that it is a local lord gathering up, the forces that he owes the king as a feudal lord.
This war has got to end. He's probably just gathering folks for the crown at this point. I know that sounds terrible, but I don't know what we can necessarily do about that.
Some of them look so young.
She just kind of like rubs her face a little bit. Well, I can maybe see about... My name don't mean as much here as it does in Zadash. I can try, but I don't know if I can do anything about this.
Do you think Danelle may be able to do something?
Maybe, but I don't know if she'd care, to be honest. We can give it a shot, but she's not the warm and fuzzy type.
That's true.
As you're continuing your conversation, you see Zagrin, Selaeus, and Calamity coming downstairs. Zagrin, Selaeus, you see Kit and Essie having a conversation at one of the tables off to the side in the bar area.
Yeah, leading the way. I'm in disguise as just a regular elf, but still wearing my robe and mask. But I'll make our way towards the table and sit down.
Yeah, I'll follow.
I'll just greet them as they come down. I'd be real careful. Kit saw a press gang in the area. We don't want to get tangled up in that.
Zagrin is wearing the mask, but kind of smirks at the idea of being conscripted into the opposite side of the war that he's from, and just kind of like ponders that idea in his head for a moment and then comes back to the conversation. Yes, we have enough folks chasing us at the moment. The last thing we need is somebody with a warrant for us to join the war. So what's the plan? How would we like to proceed?
Zagrin and Selaeus, you both clock this, but when Essie talks about a press gang, you can see Calamity get really tense.
Zagrin will look to Calamity. And I imagine that this news seems troubling to you, Calamity.
It just looks like, well, I'm not a fan of powerful folks stepping on townsfolk. Happens too much around here.
Of course. And I imagine that the impact on the local city, that it seems like such a waste of youth, if I'm being honest.
I know that it might not be our concern, but I wonder if there's any way to see if Danelle would intervene.
If you're concerned about the recruitment methods of the Empire, I'm afraid that I will have to excuse myself from those conversations. And he hushes his voice. If my identity were to be discovered and it seemed that I were directly involved with the war and the war efforts, it's too risky for me. I don't even think I could talk my way out of that one.
It's a tough situation to be in, but Kit, your heart is in the right place, but we're not necessarily equipped to deal with this outside of just making sure we don't get all tangled up in it.
I know. It's just I've seen friends, I've seen people taken. I hate to see it again.
Calamity.
I-
Oh, sorry.
I-
Go ahead.
When I traveled here, when I originally crossed to the border, I was leading a caravan of diplomats to try to end the war. I hope that they shall be successful and trust in the individuals who were able to proceed. Know that everything is being done to end this war without the need for more bloodshed, but I believe that actions need to be done through the correct channels, and looks around. A lot of us probably aren't equipped to handle that.
Calamity looks over at you and she goes, You just saw him now?
Yeah, they were taking people outside the city to the east.
Well, they might be in town for a couple of days collecting. Who knows how many they plan to raise here. Maybe we could find their camp at night or something, if you're interested.
And these are Crown's Guard that are doing this, right?
Wait, was it?
So you saw a group of 5 folks, 4 kind of tough looking men wearing leather armor and mostly carrying clubs, and 1 veteran wearing a like a tabard. But as to the specific affiliation, they didn't look like normal Crown's Guard.
No, I don't think they're Crown's Guard. They look like thugs.
Well, whatever we do. And she'll look at Calamity and then kind of the rest of the table, and she'll say, I know this sounds heartless to me, and I'll do what I can to protect you folks under my name, but the Empire, regardless of its faults, is my home, my parents' home. It's where my grandfather lives. I can't do anything to screw that up to the point where I can't come back. Whatever we do. And I'm sorry to have to say that, but I can't cross the line. I have to think about a lot of folks when I make a decision like that. So if we want to disrupt them in some way or try to help these folks out, that's not necessarily something I'm opposed to, but I can't be a part of something that goes against the Crown directly. I hope you understand.
I do understand, Essie. I don't want to drag you into something like this. I saw it happening and I just felt for him, I just wish there was something we could do. But I know we've got priorities at the moment, so...
Well, Kit, perhaps they could go hand in hand. I imagine that if Danelle had it within her power to assist with this, that she would be more inclined to do so if we were to bring her the information from the Oracle. Perhaps we mention it when we finish up with her and see if then she'll be more willing to help us.
I like that idea.
Calamity pipes up. Well, I managed to get a directions over to the Oracle's house if you want to go.
I'm ready.
I'm prepared when you are.
It looks like it's a couple hours out of town, so we might not be there till evening time, or at least dusk if we head out now. That'd leave us traveling back in the dark.
Do you want to take the horses, or do we want to go by foot?
Probably worth bringing horses based on the route.
All right, I can start to go get them ready. I'm ready at any time.
All right, folks. Anything else you want to do before mounting up and heading out towards the Oracle's house?
Oh, I'll go get our horses. At least Freya and Bryn ready.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I would follow and just get our horses ready. And
Does Agrin look like he knows what he's doing when he saddles him up? Or is he like directing Saleus to do it?
no, he's not an expert, but he's decent enough at riding horses. He's nobility. They didn't travel by foot a lot. Mostly carriage, but he could ride a horse.
All right.
Solace is going to go up to Kit when they're just alone. He's going to go, my allegiance is to Zagrin alone, not to the Empire. If you want to strike out, and Zagrin could remain safe for a bit, I would accompany you.
Thank you, Slayus. I appreciate that. Could use your help, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I have no love for the Empire.
Calamity looks at you and goes, I could be persuaded to set a fire under somebody. She smiles.
Alright, well, maybe we go take care of this. Seeing the Oracle first, and then see what happens after.
Agreed.
Alright.
All right. For travel purposes, Calamity would rather ride with one of you than ride on her own. Anyone have an objection to that?
She can ride with me.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yes. Why would I mind? I said I was back on Team Calamity. I'm not on Team Arson against the Empire, though. That's for sure. It'd be like going to the Dynasty and me being like, all right, let's go destroy some Dynasty folks.
Okay, so you head out, right? It is afternoon now, early afternoon, not quite dinner time, but you get going and you press on quickly to get to the Oracle's house, or we move in slow? Normal pace.
We're just going there to
Normal.
get info, right?
I think
We're supposed to
there
get info, but we know that the last people that were supposed to get info didn't make it back, but we don't know why. So I think a normal pace.
Yeah. I'm down with
Okay.
that.
Okay, great. You begin moving out of town. So you head out to the west side and then cut north, and you're riding out of town. There are some smaller towns and hamlets nearby, but soon you're past all of them and you're into more of a wooded hilly area. You're into more of a wooded hilly area. You after an hour or so's riding, right? The sun's starting to set a little bit. You see up ahead of you a hamlet, and then past the hamlet there's a trail leading up to a house that is on a hill. You can see it only from a distance. As you move up, you can see that there's a little cottage. There's a bigger barn. You can see some signs of some simple agriculture happening out here, but there's not a lot else as you're moving up. You're now a good bit away from the hamlet. Anything y'all want to do as you approach? Calamity indicates that this is the Oracle's house, or it is as far as she's aware.
I'm gonna have activated my Eldritch Cannon on the ride up, just to be ready.
I
Yeah,
will
I'll-
be looking around just to see if anyone is lurking.
Should we tie up the horses here and walk in?
Sounds safer. And Zagran summons Liamnor and begins to tie up the horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll help Calamity down and then dismount.
Okay. So you set up your horses. There's a little bit of woods that you can put them in, and you're going to proceed on foot up to the house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're moving closer, and as you get up closer, you can see that there's a garden. It's a little creek running down the hill, and the house is situated beside the creek, and there's a little water wheel beside the house. It's being turned by the creek. You can hear its gentle motions as it goes round and round, obviously in a somewhat perpetual fashion. Off to the side, like down the hill, there's a group of beehives. Looks like someone's doing some beekeeping. So I believe it's an apiary. Yeah. So you can hear the buzzing of bees. As you get up, you're probably within 60 feet of the house. There's no smoke or any other sign of habitation. The barn, however, there's this very large barn, and you see the barn door open, and this humongous figure looks like a woman, but very, very badly dressed, and she's probably 12 feet tall. 12 feet tall and solid. She wanders out. She's carrying a pair of barrels, like really big barrels, but they look small in her hands. And she's walking over towards the house. What do y'all want to do?
Are we within earshot? If we would-
If
Call
you're
out.
loud, she would likely hear. Yeah.
Y'all think
She
this
hasn't
is the
noticed you yet.
Oracle?
Or perhaps a servant of hers. In any event, I think we should try diplomacy. It doesn't seem aggressive.
I agree. She'll just
Do-
lift a hand. Oh, go ahead, Silius.
Oh, I was gonna say, do we need a little light?
Is it dark?
It's getting towards dark, but it's not dark yet.
Oh, okay.
The sun
I thought it was night.
The sun will be setting in an hour tops.
Okay, never mind.
I'll just lift up a hand in greeting, and I'll say, "Hail, we're travelers in the area. Didn't want to sneak up on you."
As you call out, you see the woman. She's like looking down, stepping. You say something, and she like startles. She startles. She drops both the barrels, and she turns and looks at you all. This look of fear on her face.
We don't mean no harm. We've got some questions for the Oracle.
She calls out, does anybody speak giant in your group?
Nope.
She calls out, she begins calling out, and she looks over at you guys wide-eyed, and she's yelling back something in a language. The only thing you can clearly make
All
out
right.
is what sounds like a name, Toby. And she starts just kind of leaning down a little, and she steps a little bit closer to you guys, looking forward.
Strange someone of her size would be so frightened.
She does look
Yeah.
very scared.
It's. I know it's not. Although Essie will start cycling through languages she knows, she'll just Draconic, Elvish, Primordial, Undercommon. Just repeat. We're not here to harm anybody. Just got a couple questions.
You hear her yell it again, and then a figure emerges from the barn. A second figure emerges from the barn. This one carrying looks like a roof beam, like a really big roof beam, and he's holding it like a bat or a club, and he yells out again and again. The only thing you can recognize in this is you think you hear the name Maggie. Both of them look frightened, and they walk over towards you. They don't get closer than 20 feet, but they're over at you, and they're talking at you, and they look like they're cycling through languages, although their tone is very slow. And they're looking at you expectantly.
Mention Danelle.
We were sent by Ms. Danelle.
They look over at each other. They look back at you and then continue to speak in languages that you can't understand. And one of them, the woman, she puts her hands on the ground, just taps the ground, and then she points over at the house. She goes,
Should we go? You want us to go check it out? I'll take a step, like I'm not turning my back to her, so I'm shifting, and I'll take a step closer to the house and see what her reaction is.
seems excited but still scared. And then you hear her say a few times the name Chalea.
Chalea, that's who we're looking for. I'll nod.
They get more excited when you say Chalea back.
Yeah.
And they look at each other. They grab each other. By the arm, and they're looking and talking to each other in an animated, although somewhat ponderous fashion. And they point at the house some more.
Is Chalea, and then I'll point to the house.
You hear Chalea, and they
all right.
they point
all
in.
right. I think we're heading towards the house, folks. I'm still walking
Right.
sideways so that I keep my front towards them, and I have just a hand on the musket down, not aggressively, but I'm ready.
See, Calamity looks very scared of these giants. Like, these are some big bastards.
Yeah, they are. And then she'll kind of look down at Calamity and realize that that's even bigger for her.
As you keep moving, the woman holds out her hand. She goes, Chalea, and then she says another word. Essie, give me an investigative check.
I've got the Elspeth Pike Guarantee of Excellence. Good thing I'm good at this. 17. Excuse me, I got a +7 now.
It's hard to understand because you clearly have a big language barrier, but they're trying to tell you something about the house.
Is it dangerous? She'll just try to indicate pain or damage. She'll take a little dagger out and make a motion hurt.
Please give me a performance check.
Oh god, this I'm not so good at. All right. 9.
9. Seems confused, but they say the word. They say the word again.
If only my mother had taught me a couple more languages.
Can I attempt to sneak over to the house and peer in the window?
You can, yeah, y'all can head over. They don't seem to be stopping you at all.
Okay.
They don't seem to be stopping you at all.
Can I do it a la sneakily?
Absolutely. Roll me a stealth check, please.
15.
15. Yeah. So Saleus goes up to the front house. So there's a porch there. So stone base of the house. It's a cottage, 2-story cottage. Looks like there might be a little basement. Looks like there might be a little basement on the first floor. Also of note, there are glass windows here, which are a pretty good sign, and the place looks well made, although well made and well maintained. But you do note as you go up, there is some milk on the porch that seems spoiled as you get closer to it, and there's some flies buzzing around. As you get up to the front door, Slayus. You can look in, and you see a little entry room. Looks like a normal entryway. A normal entryway. It's not very well lit. There's no lights on in the house. There's no cooking or fire at all. In the entryway, however, you see the body, what looks like the body of a man, laying down, face down on the ground. You see some flies buzzing around them, and their ribs have ripped open from inside to out, and they're laying there on the ground.
I like put my hand up to the rest of everyone, like, wait, kind of thing. Is there any sort of like bloody footprints, any sort of blood spatter on the ground, anything on the walls?
You see some blood on the ground, but it looks like it's very dried up blood. This doesn't look like it's happened recently. Any moisture has dried up. It still looks somewhat sticky and wet within the body, but the moisture the blood outside of it looks dried up. You don't see anything that looks like footprints. You don't see anything that looks like footprints, although there is some blood spattered around at some distance, but everything is dried up.
I try the door. Is it locked?
Try the door. No, it's not locked at all. It opens. The giants are looking at y'all intently. One of them, the male, is sat down, and the woman is keeping some distance, but she's looking at you, and they're both.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to the others. It would
Are
appear.
you all on the porch now? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're
Yeah.
walking over, so.
Okay, great.
There is a body inside. Deceased male. Something appears to have exited him through the back.
Does
The
it look
door
like? How big is the exit wound?
large.
All right.
The door is not locked.
Does it smell?
Where you are, you can smell the spoiled milk already. Like there's just a bucket of spoiled milk with some flies buzzing around it, but it's faint because you're outside.
He has
You
been
also
dead
have a
for
lot
a
of
while.
nice. You also have a lot of nice farm smells. Like you can smell like recently tilled earth. You know, again the bees buzzing. There's flowers in bloom. All that stuff. It is getting closer towards dusk. However,
Whatever we do, I think it's best to do it before the dark sets in.
Jason, I don't like that look on your face. Stop it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine.
I'm getting scared.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to stealth around in there. If Kit, I think a couple of us can be invisible,
Oh yeah, that's right.
but
Keep
I don't feel
forgetting.
comfortable splitting up in case something goes wrong.
We don't know what it is. Not everything senses with eyes. Not
No.
everything uses eyes to detect.
I was picking up what you were putting down.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I speak Saleus.
Excellent.
All right. So are we going in? Are we scouting? Or are we...
Maybe take a look around first. Quickly.
Yes. Are there other windows?
There is a window on the second floor. There's a window on the second floor that you can see from here. If you walk around the house, there may be others.
I'm going to try and get up to the second floor. Like a
Good try.
little hop, skip, and a jump.
Okay, if one of the others will, give you like the, the cheerleader boost up, y'all can give
Mhm.
that a shot. But there's not a ton to hold on to here, so you
I'm
could
gonna
grab the
give
edge of
him
the roof.
I can't
Elspeth
just
Pike, guarantee of excellence.
I can't just run up the side. Like if I go back and
If you just want to get a quick look in, sure, yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Give me
That's
an
just
acrobatics to pull that
a
off.
quick little peer in.
Yeah.
with a D4 added to it.
Oh,
It's the guidance police. Knock, knock.
I got a +8 for my acrobatics.
Ooh.
19 plus a D4, you said?
You bet. You've got the Elspeth Pike guarantee of excellence.
4. 23.
Get a minute to look in this window, and you see a bedroom with a really big, really sturdy looking bed. Not big enough for one of these giants, to be clear, but like much larger than a king size bed that looks awesome, unmade. The whole room looks a little bit disorganized, but is otherwise empty. This looks like a bedroom.
No blood?
You don't see any.
Okay.
If you truly want to get up there, I mean, we could probably give you a boost, but I've also been working on a little something that helps you stick to places where you shouldn't be able to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do tell.
I've been studying spiders and what the adhesive solution they use to walk up places.
Ah,
And I think I can replicate it to the point where it could hold a humanoid, the weight of a humanoid.
well, from what I saw, it looked like a unoccupied bedroom. Dark. Empty.
We could always try maybe 2 going in the window and 2 coming from down, or 3 coming from downstairs. Or should we stay together?
Well, in a house situation, if we're all bunched up, it's not necessarily advantageous. So I think 2 teams meeting in the middle might not be a bad idea, as long as we know the signal if we're in danger and can find each other.
What is the signal?
Bark. Like a dog.
All right.
Actually, it's bird noises.
Yeah, it's a whistle. I can climb. I believe I have a climbing speed. I have this 2nd story work, which says climbing no longer costs you extra movement. So I think I could do it.
I can climb as well. Use my extra movement.
Solace and Kit go up. Zagrean, Calamity, and I stay down.
Yeah.
Sounds
That
wise.
works for me. Should maybe those of us who can be invisible do that?
Go up or go down?
I just mean anyone who can be invisible, try to be invisible.
Might not be a bad idea.
Could I? Is the top window openable?
It's a
Is
great
there a
question.
latch?
Yeah, great question. There is absolutely a latch. There's absolutely a latch. You did see one. Whether or not you
Okay.
can open it is unclear.
I think that Kit can handle anything.
That's
Absolutely.
my speciality, so
All
I can
right.
give it a try.
You have my guarantee that you'll be excellent at this. I'll give her guidance.
Thank
And
you.
then are we going invisible?
Yes, let's. And I will cast invisibility on myself and Solaeus.
Oh. Whoa.
Much
Alright.
easier than hiding in the shadows.
I'll just ask for that. She doesn't really know how it works yet, but she's just gonna like meditate for a moment and ask for the invisibility to come to her. Like, all right, I could really use fading into the shadows right now.
Kit's gonna grab her key and it's gonna slowly change into a dagger, and she's going to feel that like cold spreading through her chest, and she will cast invisibility on herself.
Excellent job, everybody. So you've all disappeared. You can hear the giants get upset, and they begin talking to each other a lot more. And you hear Tulea's name more than once.
Is Calamity casting anything?
Oh yeah, Calamity's just standing there like
Oh no.
Thanks, guys.
It's all right.
Wow.
it's fine.
But remember,
it's fine.
she's so small that people often forget she's there. So
Even
See
if we
that?
gave her a
Party.
boost, even if we gave her a boost, she wouldn't see us.
You see the one giant, the male giant that's holding that rafter beam, starts crying.
Oh,
poor guy.
Oh,
don't worry, big.
The other
dumb
one
giant.
attempting to comfort him.
Okay.
Someone
someone
Like
want to
this.
like go pinch behind his arm to let him know we're there.
No.
Not while invisible.
If these giants are like this terrified, I feel like we should take that into account.
Hmm.
This guy is crying right now.
Hmm.
We
Well.
gave our word that we'd go check it out.
This could be bad.
All right,
Okay.
so Kit, you're climbing up to the window. Is that right?
Yes.
So you climb up to the window, and you go to get ready to open the latch, and the window opens in the middle, right? Or it looks like it's made to open in the middle. But when you go look at it, you realize that the window panes, the center part is fused. There is, even though it looks like there's a gap, there is no gap at all for you to reach through and pop the latch. You'd have to try breaking the glass if you want to get in. It doesn't look like it's made to open. Now that you look at the outside is fused also. This window will
Fused.
not open. As in the wood where there should be a joint. Like you can see hinges on the outside, like it would open out. But you see the wood, now that you're looking at it, is contiguous with the wood of the house around it. There is no gap at all.
Weird.
How long will it take you to get in?
There's no way to get in without breaking the window panes with the accompanying noise that would make.
Great.
And to be clear, you'd have to
Okay.
break it and then break out the wood because this window doesn't open. Although there is a latch on the inside, you can see it.
I don't think that Essie would have gone in until she got confirmation that the other group was able to get in.
Makes sense.
She'll be standing there. She'll be like, "How's it going up there?"
The window is fused closed. There's no way to open it. Can I climb up? Can I finish climbing up the rest of the way, like to the roof?
Absolutely.
I just want to see if there's like another way in. Like, is there a chimney or like?
There is a chimney.
Okay.
There is a chimney. There is there's a chimney. There's another spot for a window on the other side, like another. So it's got the window that kind of sticks out of the roof, where there's a second smaller roof there on the far side. So it's got the same thing on the other side. Do you want to go take a look at that?
Yeah, I'll just check out, and along the way, just looking for any potential, like maybe weak spots in the roof as well. Just any way to get in here.
Looks like it's a nice tiled roof, like clay tile. You go to the other side, and the window is in the same condition. However, when you look in, you're looking into an office. The office, however, looks like it is a mess. Looks like it's a mess, and that furniture's turned over. There's papers scattered about, and no one inside.
Is there any blood in there? Visible?
You don't see any. No.
Okay. I'll go back and check out the chimney.
There's a chimney. It's small, but you might be able to do it if you think small thoughts. It does look tight.
And I don't think Soleus would be able to.
How many sweets have you been
Slays
eating?
is smaller than you, or at least. Sorry, Slays. How tall are you?
I'm about 6'2".
Oh, you're really tall, also. So y'all are both.
Not really tall. I'm more scrawny than.
I'm small. I'm very short.
Yeah, it would be. You'd have to think small. Like this would be, as a burglar, this would be your last route.
But they're like, have I exhausted all the other potential avenues that are not the door.
As you get to the
Basically.
back, and look down, there's another little stairway up that looks like it leads to another doorway on the back side of the house.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Are you gonna go
Yeah, I'm
back
gonna-
down the front, or you're gonna go down the back?
I will go back over to where I started and beckon Soleus to come up and say, I think there's a door on the other side, but there's no other way to get in except for the chimney, and that might be a bit tight. So maybe we go in the back and the others go in the front.
All right, I'll meet you at the back.
All right.
Yeah, and I move around to the back. If there's a window, I want to look in it.
You see it. You look in the window, and it's too grimy. There's nothing you can see through it. There is a back
Can-
door, however.
Can
It does look like it leads to the kitchen. I'm sorry, Slays.
Can I see? Is there any way I can tell if this is being done by magical means? Like, is there some sort of spell that's making it look old? Is magic being used here?
Roll me an investigative check,
Okay.
please, and thank you.
Oh, investigation 0 pluses, so. Ooh, 19, baby.
Something is decidedly odd about it. But what is causing it? What is causing it is unclear. That being said, what Kit described about the windows is unnatural. Unnatural. That doesn't make any sense.
All right. I'm gonna whisper up, like, something is up. Something is afoot.
Oh, I forgot I was invisible. I was like,
Yeah, we're both.
As you get to
invisible.
as you get to the back, you can hear the buzzing of flies more clearly from the other side of that door.
I'm gonna
Yikes.
slowly open the back door.
Yeah, the back door. As you go to open it, it's a little stuck. You're gonna have to give it a shoulder or a good push if you want to open it.
oh, we're not getting in this place quietly.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it as quietly as I can. Can I roll a
Okay.
stealth or something?
You may, but the door is going to make a pop as it goes open.
Okay. 17.
All right. Okay. So you guys go in the back door. Zagrin,
We open the back door.
You open the back door. So you open the back door. It is a little bit of a crack as it comes free of the frame, like it's clearly stuck in the frame a little bit. But you look in, and you look in on an absolutely disgusting kitchen. Right? It is. You can see the sink, dishes all over the place. There are broken dishes, broken food, and it looks like there may be some bodies in here.
Oh no.
Folks, we're actually going to pause on Kit and Soleus now, and we're going to go to Zagrin and Essie and Calamity.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the bird call. Does the bird call come? Say we're starting.
I think when the pop happens of the
Oh, can-
door,
Can we hear it from the other side?
The door does a little shake,
Yeah.
as in the air
Yeah.
pressure has changed in the house.
and
Alright.
Zachary tries to time it to twist or open the door as quickly in time towards that as possible.
Hey, you open the door. You see this front room, this foyer. There are coats, boots. There's this corpse on the ground that looks like his rib cage from the back is just blown open. Right, there's still jagged bits of bone sticking up, and the upper portion of this figure's back is just an absolute mess. Dried blood all around.
So Essie has been not only around firearms but magical capabilities pretty much her whole life. Does this look like a wound that she has made in the past, or that she's seen
Absolutely
in the
not.
past? Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
This looks bizarre. Are y'all going in?
Yeah, Zachary will walk in.
She does that tactical where she's got her musket up, but she just leans down and kind of looks at the body and tries to get a feel for what might have caused this.
Calamity's just holding on to one of you so that she knows where to go, and so she's just following in last. As you walk in, we're gonna switch to Kitten Slayus. So, Kitten Slayus, you're at the door. You see this gruesome sight in this room. What do you want to do?
Definitely try to go in, but very quietly. Like, we're invisible, but still trying to be super stealthy. Like, you know, not stepping on anything.
Any of the
not
broken
making
dishes or
Yeah.
other
That's
bits of
it.
scattered food? All right.
Yeah, we're stealthy.
Yeah, you walk in, you get into the kitchen a little ways, and each of you, as you step in, now talking to everybody involved, as you get solidly into the room, you hear a loud as the doors slam shut behind you.
Oh no!
Kit and Saleus, your room, the room that you're in, it floods with light. And suddenly is brighter, and you can feel the temperature increase a few degrees. The stove, there's a wood stove on the side, flares to life. And you can see some flame from behind the cast iron sections that are holding it in. To describe the kitchen a little bit more, now that you have a sense of it, it's starting to get hot. And it's pretty bright. So you've got the light from the stove, you've got some candles on the wall, and light seemingly coming from all over the place. It's really well lit. There are a number of bodies you see now that you're looking off to the side. Like, it almost feels like you look back at the door slamming, and then you turn over, and you almost feel like your perspective is warping as the kitchen seems to get bigger somehow as you're watching it. And you notice that these bodies, where you thought it was 2 or 3, now it looks like maybe it's 6 or 8 or even more. And this kitchen now looks like it's big. Maybe it's 30 feet across for the whole kitchen. And you can smell rotten food. You can see broken dishes. All over the place as you look around at this room.
And we're still invisible.
You are still invisible.
Remain calm.
Can I just like close my eyes and try to sense anything moving, footsteps, breathing, anything?
It's a good question. So now that we go to you, so Calamity jumps, like literally jumps as the door slams, and she turns and looks. The foyer, you're looking around it. You know, it's got this moldy smell, you know, and behind it you've got that copper tang of blood. You can see the rug where this body is laying. It's stiff with blood as the blood is dried into the floor. Let me just get a quick something here. All right. So the foyer is a square room. You can see a hallway off to your left and to your right. You can see a hallway off to your left and to your right, as well as one dead ahead of you. Again, you know, that same thing as you turn and look and then look back, you can hear a little creak because you're listening. As you hear a little creak as the dimensions of the room seem to shift a little bit around you. Yeah. The temperature's fairly static. So you want
Does it
to
feel like it's
listen
getting
to,
hotter and hotter?
It does
or,
not.
Or it stays the same?
Where you're at, the temperature is actually fairly normal. That being said, those of you in the kitchen, it is feeling very warm, right? Like uncomfortably warm. And actually, this music's no longer appropriate. I'm sorry, guys. That's embarrassing.
What, the scary music isn't appropriate anymore? Does it need to be scarier?
It's insufficiently scary. That is correct. Yeah, that's
even
our
better.
problem.
That broke my heart.
So, we're going to start with Essie and Zagrin and Calamity. You're in this room. What would you like to do?
I don't like that sound. I didn't hear anything moving.
Only the creaking of wood, as it almost seems like the room is distorting. Looking ahead into the hall dead in front of you, looking ahead at the hall dead in front of you, you see the material, the material of the wallpaper, like kind of stretch out, and it goes off towards a room that you can see some faint light through it, but you can't see all the way to the other end. It's unclear as to why. It almost looks. Roll me a perception. Actually, either you or Zagrin, roll me a perception.
Go for it.
This is tricky.
Really good. A natural 17 plus 3, so a total of 20.
You think you see some movement along that wall, almost as if the wallpaper and the wall itself is rippling slightly.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just say very quietly in Elvish, "It's in the walls."
Zagrin's eyes go wide, but he doesn't make a sound, and he's gonna make his way towards the body on the floor.
Yeah, great. Roll me
I'm
an
gonna,
investigation check, please.
I'm gonna indicate to Calamity to get down and hide somewhere. And I'm gonna go I just want her to stay. I don't want her to go further in the room at this point. And I'm gonna try to step around or over the body to go a little further in.
Yeah, absolutely. So you go further in. You go off towards the right, and the right has that hallway has that same strange stretching effect. You see it go probably 60 feet, and then there's a dead end that looks like it opens to the left. The room otherwise
mimic house.
that isn't exciting. You wish it was a mimic house.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah, we wish it. Okay.
All right, so Zagrin, can you roll me an investigation check to look at the body?
6.
6. Yeah, so again, this thing is dead, and they've been dead for a while. The ribs are cracked open, almost as if something tore its way out. You turn the body a little bit, and you can see the face of this man, and it is frozen in death in what is clearly a scream of terror or pain. Frozen on his face. His eyes have gone entirely
Drop
gray.
the body. Yeah, Zagrin lets go of the body and then kind of returns back to that first position, and he'll just stand up and take a couple steps back.
Yeah.
Maybe towards Essie. Take a couple steps towards Essie.
Yeah, great. We're going to pause on you folks, and we're going to go over to Kit and Saleas. So Kit and Saleas, you find yourselves in this kitchen, right? You find yourselves in this kitchen, the overwhelming smell of blood, offal, and rotting food together. The floor is covered in broken dishes and other things. It's hard to step anywhere without disturbing something or making a crack or shift as you move, even for folks as trained in stealth as yourselves.
What are the exits like? There's the door we just came in.
Yeah, so looking around from where you are, there's a countertop to your right, a countertop to your left, a very large stove off to your left and a little bit ahead, another counter. There's a table ahead and to the right. There's an exit past you. You see what looks like a very long hallway. There looks to be a pantry directly to your right, and something around the far side that you can't really see. It's obscured from where you're at without going further in.
Something.
Well, there's more to the room that you haven't explored, and you can't see from the angle that you're at. And it looks like there may be an exit to your right also.
Could we make it there by walking along the counters?
No.
There's stuff in the
To that
counters,
exit
too.
to the right? Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. The counters are full of
Oh yeah,
dishes
they're
and
full
crap.
of stuff.
This place looks terrible. It looks like somebody's been cooking, butchering bodies, and breaking things in here. and the food has not been eaten. It has just been left to rot.
Okay, as long as it's not spiders, we're all good.
I'm gonna reach out, just not say anything, but reach out for Soleus and see if I can grab hold of him and maybe like grab his arm or his wrist or something. And
No.
stop gently. And yeah, I don't want to make any noise, but quietly, carefully try to go like towards what looks like maybe an exit of some kind to the right.
So there are two hallways. There's the one to your
Okay.
right, and there's the one ahead of you, the way you're facing. As far as you can tell, based on the geography of things when you walked in here, the one ahead of you is the one that would lead you towards the foyer where your friends came in.
Which looks like the clearest route, if there is one.
The shortest route is to the hall to your right, or whatever that entrance is to your right.
I don't think we necessarily need to meet up with them immediately.
I think we need to meet up. This house
Well,
is the house of
hold-
horrors, and it's going to keep us separated.
I feel
So
like
what are we gonna do? We're gonna
Let's pause if we're not in the scene, folks.
yeah, I feel like I would probably go towards the shortest route to the right, honestly.
Okay.
yeah.
Roll me a stealth check, each of you.
I get advantage, right?
Because you're invisible.
Yeah, well, and because you have the knife.
I'm so
Okay.
damn good at this.
Oh my god.
25.
23.
Great. There's very little noise as y'all move, and you look at the hallway to your right. So off to your right, it looks like the hall goes back the way you came, right? Which, from a spacing standpoint, doesn't make any sense. Like there was wall behind you, right? But into where the end of the house should be, right, or the outside of the house should be, you see it extend 20 feet, long, stretched out. It's a little bit shorter, so it looks like it's only about 5 feet tall where you're looking, and relatively thin. You guys see this too. As you're looking down that hall, you can see the walls shifting a little bit, almost imperceptibly, but you do see it.
It's like
Almost as if something is moving behind the wallpaper.
It's like the TARDIS in here, but alive. Well, I guess the TARDIS is kind of it's bigger on the inside.
It is bigger on
Okay.
the inside, you are correct.
I was thinking Snoopy's doghouse, so two very different ways that we
No,
went.
no Doctor Who fans here? Okay.
Can I roll an investigation to see if there are things underneath the wallpaper?
You can spend some time looking, but it's unclear what you do. You can go in and try and touch at it. Would you like to do that?
No.
Oh.
No, I want to see if it's moving in terms of there being like something there poking at it rather than
Oh.
just a distortion of my eyes.
How long do you want to spend looking?
Well, while we're
Yeah, it's right there.
moving away-
It's like 8 feet from where you started. So you're looking now down the hallway. There's a pantry directly to your left now as you're facing this hallway, which again,
Yeah.
space-wise doesn't make any sense. You think the way towards the others would be behind you. So the question is, how long would you like to spend looking at the wall?
around.
Okay, so
Until
a
we
few
get
seconds.
sucked into the wall, that's
Okay.
No, not until I
cool.
bump into it, but you know.
All right.
I'm still holding on to your arm, your wrist, so hopefully.
Great.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pause on you two, and we're gonna go
We're
to
like holding hands.
Essie and Zagrin.
Invisible.
With you two holding hands, invisible, hopefully scared in this kitchen. Essie and Zagrin. And
Aw.
Calamity. Calamity's got her dagger out, by the way, and she's got like flames dancing on her fingertips, and she's looking around. She's like, okay, I'm ready.
yeah, like this.
Don't fucking leave me, guys.
We're here.
We're here. Yeah. Do you see that wall moving?
I do.
It's not. My glasses aren't just smudgy, right?
No,
All right.
there's something afoot.
Calamity is at the other end, and she goes, do you see the ice in the hall?
Do I see the ice in the hall?
Your hall is normal wood slats, like normal hardwood floor. Absolutely not. There's no such thing where you're looking.
There's no ice by this one.
And it's like, well, do you want to see this real quick?
Yeah, Zachary will make his with Calamity and look down the hall.
I'll follow.
So you look down the other hall, which looks like it's about 40 feet long now that you're looking at it. And again, something on the far side, but there's some sort of haze that's keeping you from seeing all the way through. You see that there's ice on the ground. The walls now here are made of a very smooth stone, and the ceiling is relatively low. It'd be comfortable for Calamity, but hard for any of you to go through. You have to. It's at best 4 feet tall. But yeah, there's a thin layer of ice, and you can feel it is absolutely colder just as you get near the entrance to this hall. This is the direction that would be away from where you think Kit and Selaeus went in. The direction with that long hall with the turn, that's the direction where you think they would be.
I think that we should find the others. And in this place, who knows how it's gonna warp and change. I think it's best if we stick together.
Sounds good. Lead the way.
I don't want to get caught in a situation where we can't get to them. Oh, lead the way. All right.
Calamity's
Yeah,
once
see,
again
just
gonna
Lisa
hold
lead
on
the
to
way.
your belt so she can follow you.
Yep.
Zachary
She's holding on with the dagger hand, so the dagger and her little fingers are pressed up against the back of your belt.
Yep.
Zagran would, if Essie's in front leading the way and having Calamity hold her belt, he's sitting like to the left or right, like to the side of Calamity, so he doesn't lose where Essie is.
So you're gonna walk down the hall towards.
Oh. Yep. I guess
Sure
so.
are. We sure are.
As you step into the hall, into the hardwood floor, the floor almost seems like it's soft and spongy as you walk, and your feet sink in. Your feet sink in as you're moving. You feel it like slowing you down, almost like walking through thick mud. As you get a few feet down the hallway with your feet sinking in like this, you start to see some bumps in the wall coming out. You can walk in the middle of the hallway or to either side. Zagran, you were off to one side?
Yeah.
You see some
I
bumps
was-
starting to come out of the wall. Do you want to move towards the middle?
I was dead center.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Oh.
remain there.
Sacred.
So an arm reaches out of the wall, or a pair of arms start reaching out of the walls, and they try and grab you, Zagran. They try and grab you. Can you please make a dexterity or athletics check? Now that this happens,
Oh my
Essie, you see a
God.
number of arms all throughout, reaching, trying to grab at you. You can feel them brush your arm a little.
I instinctively just suck it in and get as small as I can.
Zagran dedicated towards remaining in formation so he doesn't lose track of where Essie might be, doesn't move quick enough, and he got a 9 on his athletics check.
So an arm grabs you, and as it does, like it starts pulling you in, and then another one grabs you, and
Can
then
I try to?
another.
Oh, I can't see him.
It begins.
I can see the
begins trying
arms,
to
though.
pull you into the wall. Yeah, you can see arms grabbing something.
Oh, can I try to help him?
Maybe you can, but we'll find out when we come back from this break.
No.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I love this place so much.
I'm so stressed right now.
The wall arms. Oh my gosh.
As long as
Alright.
it's not bugs.
Folks, really appreciate you hanging out. We're going to take a quick break. I think we're going to keep it short. We're going to shoot for 5 to 10 minutes, okay? So we'll be back no later than 2:26 Central Time. I hope that we can see you there. I'm really excited to see what happens, and I hope you are too. All right, see you in a minute. We are back, folks. Thank you so much for your patience. We are the Heroes Die Show cast, and you are watching episode 12 of Best Left Buried. Want to take a second. If you're enjoying the show, if you like it, one, thank you. We're really grateful that you're watching. We really appreciate your support for the show. If you're enjoying it, down below you somewhere, there are follow buttons. I'm trying to get my hands level. Follow buttons, whatever. We're not going to worry about it. There's buttons down there. One of them says follow. Press it so you can watch the show going forward. If you're watching later on YouTube, hit the little subscribe button. When you do that, it really helps us understand what our audience is. It gives you notifications that we're live, and yeah, we hope you're enjoying it because we want to see you again. Past that, somebody, I know this in my heart, that somebody is going to post a link to the Discord in our chat momentarily.
Already did.
And you're going to be able to see, there we go. It's already happened. Join our Discord. Talk to us. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you're doing. And if you're enjoying any of this, there's some folks out there in our audience who knew what was going to happen and got to have the joy that I got today watching our players stumble into this trap. You could be like them too by watching our Wednesday prep streams. Get to hang out with me, ask questions if you have any, and talk about what's going on. There's also a channel on Discord for behind the scenes discussion where you can talk to me about other things that the players aren't allowed to see. So enjoy it, or whatever. Join. Maybe you'll enjoy it. I hope you will. And yeah, with that, I'm going to get us right back into the action. So when last we left our heroes, they had left the town of Eurosa to go to the house of Chalea the Oracle. They were on a mission for Denella Main to get information about what was going to happen in the fight for Eurosa that is being handled as a one-on-one fight between two champions, some sort of bare knuckle fight between Larry and Genoa the Golden. Larry Unger and Genoa the Golden. They find themselves, they got to the house of Chalea. It was a cottage up on the hill. And when they got there, they were approached by two large giants who seemed relatively friendly, but with whom they were unable to communicate. And so, working through a language barrier, they got the impression they should go in the house. But as they did, things took a bit of a turn. There were some unusual aspects of the house on the outside that seemed a bit unnatural. And as they entered the house, the doors slammed behind them, and they found themselves now caught inside this home. And in fact, Essie, Zagrin, and Calamity had begun wandering down a hall in the direction that they hope is the kitchen where they can find Kit and Selaeus. As they were doing so, they found that the hall floor began to sink in and that hands came out of the wall to grab them. Zagrin himself has been grabbed now by at least 3 hands, and is there with all of them. Every moment they sit still, waiting, not moving forward. Their feet sink deeper into this soft floor of the hallway. And with that, we return to the action.
Can I try to help grab him and pull him out?
You
Or
can.
knock away a hand with like the butt of my musket?
You can try, but we're going to do that when we get back to you because we're cutting away to Kit and Selaeus.
Yeah,
Kit
so I'm
Selaeus.
focused on this wall. I'm like
Yep.
staring at it.
You
This
can
bump.
see little ripples in the wall.
Stay away from the walls.
What does like the ceiling look like?
Looks like normal ceiling. There's
Is it rippling?
it doesn't look to be. Doesn't appear to be.
Okay, so this is clearly something afoot, as in magic wise. Something's distorting our vision. Can I try and resist illusion? Can I do something like that? Is there a roll that allows me to?
See if it's an illusion of some variety.
Yeah. Is it investigation?
Sure, you can try and investigate, see if anything is illusory. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I have no pluses to this. 16.
As far as you can tell, everything is very real.
Oh, God.
You hear some noise back in the kitchen behind you, and it's starting to get warmer. Your skin is like prickling uncomfortably a little.
I would try to hurry Soleus down the hallway.
So you're going to move
With
down the
me.
hall. This is
Yeah.
the hall kind of back towards the way that you came.
Not towards the kitchen, like away from the kitchen.
Yeah,
Mhm.
away from the kitchen. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you step into the hall
Yeah.
and you experience that same sensation that the others found. Whereas you step into the floor of the hall, it sinks in, and as you move, you find another part sinks in. But the longer you stand in one spot, the further in you begin to sink. And again, within just a few feet of entering the hallway, you can see arms begin to come out of the wall, trying to grab at you. If you walk in the very middle, you're able to keep free, but that's it. You walk down about 10 feet and you look to the left. You see the hall stretch on for, I don't know, a long time. Looks like at least 100, if not 200 feet. That being said, the floor ahead of you, like as you're looking, there is probably another 30 feet before there's a door, like a door in the hallway off to the right-hand side. Past that, the wall goes from this strange wallpaper to like a very smooth stone, but it looks even shorter. Like where you're at, the hall's about 5 feet tall. As you get towards that door, it looks like it's even shorter.
Yikes. So
Are you
Soleus is
going
having
in?
to crouch, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
Are you going in that door?
I don't know what other choice we have.
As you're talking a little bit, you're standing there. The longer you're standing in place, the deeper you seem to sink.
We're keeping moving.
You keep moving.
Not standing.
It's non-Newtonium fluid.
Yeah.
So as you're stepping, you can see your little footprints in the hardwood, begin to sponge back up as you move past it. You're heading down. It's still that wallpaper. Still that wallpaper, and you get to the door. So there's a door. Now it's about 4.5 feet tall. The door is sitting there. It's a wooden door. It's got a little brass handle. Past the door, the floor's gone from that hardwood to a layer of ice. You can feel the cold now as you go. There's actually wind blowing down the hallway. There's a thin layer of ice, and it looks like the hall is at best 4 feet tall there. But everything, just past the door, everything from the walls to the ceiling is a smooth stone. Which way do you want to go? Continue
Try the
down, or-
door.
You try the door. You open the door, and it creaks loudly, and you see a dirt wall with some brick on either side, and there is wood stairs at a very steep angle leading down.
What do you see?
It goes down. Where should we
Are
go?
You going down or onto the ice?
Go down.
No time for
Let's go.
debate.
Let's go down. All right. We're
All
going
right, you
down.
Start stepping
Yeah.
on the
A squish
stairs.
in there.
The stairs creak loudly as you begin walking down. As you get down, the dirt goes away, and now you're left with a large stones along the wall. But everything is kind of a patch stone wall. And we're gonna cut away from you and back to Zagrin and Essie. So Zagrin and Essie. So Kit has, or not Kit. Calamity has her dagger out, just trying to like cut away at these arms to try and get you free. Essie, you're trying to help Zagrin.
Yeah,
out.
like either hit it with the butt of my musket or pull him out or help him in some regard. And I was
Zagrin,
like,
you find
"Culture's
as you-
getting into trouble.
You find as you're caught here, the arms aren't just pulling you towards the wall; they're pulling you and trying to push you down into the floor. Push you down further into the floor. You can make another attempt to get unstuck with advantage. That being said, it already seems like it's going to be much harder than it would have been the turn before.
Ooh.
Okay. Would that be athletics?
Athletics, yes. You can
My weakness. All right.
Oh, no.
With advantage, 11.
11.
Oh, come on.
Unable to break free, they pushed you down. You are now chest height. So your head, like your neck, is level with where the floor is normally. That being said,
Oh.
both Calamity and Essie are starting to sink in deeper, each at waist height. The walls that have been reaching out to grab Zagrin are starting to grab Calamity and Essie. And Calamity is going to try and keep from being sucked in. But now the wall has Calamity as well.
Oh God. I'm gonna. Oh boy. I'm gonna try to damage it. I'm gonna just say, all right, and I'm gonna do a. I'm gonna try to do a. I don't know what I want to do.
Think fast.
I'm gonna just. Oh, frick this! Everything I have is loud. I'm gonna. She's got like a strip of leather across her chest, and there's a glowing red bullet, and she's gonna pull it out and put it into the chamber and whip the musket up, and I'm gonna do Scorching Ray. So like this almost like the musket starts, the runes on the side start to light up, but when they do, it almost looks like it's been infused with molten lava, and suddenly just fire erupts from the end of her musket, and she's just gonna do it like into the wall.
Roll your attacks and damage.
So that's 17 to hit.
Hits.
And I'm like so stressed out right now. Okay, let's see. Scorching Ray, that's 2d6. So that's 6 points of fire damage for the first one.
Okay,
Second
the
one is
arms
like-
holding Zagrin are weakened, but they're not broken.
Yep, the second one is a 14 plus 8 to hit. And that's 5 points of fire damage.
The arms holding Zagrin let go and fade back in. Burnt patches on the pavement let go. Zagrin, you still are going to have to crawl your way out of this spot, but Essie can help you. The arms have not let go of Calamity, however.
And then she is going to turn the last, so it's 3 rays, so the last one is going to go, and it's a 19 plus 8.
That hits.
So for sure. Well, that was really almost max damage. So that's 10 points of fire damage.
The arms
The
let
last
go
one.
of Calamity. So you can help
All
Calamity,
Nice
or you can
work.
help Zagrin climb out of the hole that they're in. But you can't help both of them.
Oh,
Am
boy.
I further down?
You are
Or
further
because
down.
I'm
Again,
taller?
No, no,
Yeah,
you're,
that's what I
you're
was
up to your
wondering.
neck. Calamity's up to probably your mid chest.
I'm going to help Zagrin. He's been down further, and he's real wimpy.
Zagrin, roll in athletics with advantage.
I'm also going to give him the Elspeth Pat Guarantee of Excellence. If I can. A D4? Come on, man. Oh my god.
9.
9. Zagrin is unable to crawl out. Zagrin is unable to crawl out. So Kit, you're pulling, and Zagrin's trying to get up there, but he's slipping on the wall as it almost hardens as he tries to pull his way out.
As she's trying to like bring him out, she's just gonna mutter. She's gonna be like, "You think you can help this gang of people around the empire? You can't even help yourself." She's
you-
trying to like get him up and out.
What did your guidance get you?
To
Plus
9.
2. Yeah, it was.
Oh, you
it
rolled
was-
with guidance.
Yeah, that was a 9 with guidance. But
Wow.
can I
Yeah.
take an action?
You can.
Okay, and how close is Calamity to me?
She's right in front of you.
Okay. I'm gonna Thunderstep
Save
only needs
yourself.
a verbal component. So it's gonna make a lot of noise. And I don't know
man.
how close Essie is.
She's close. She's
considering-
holding your hand.
She's
Yeah.
close. So but I don't want to die by getting eaten by a house, so
Oh come on!
Zagrin's going to Thunderstep his way with Calamity. Actually, with all 3 of them. That'll prevent the damage.
Wait.
So all 3 of them, just teleport them further
Can you
down
do
the
that
hall.
with more than one person?
Is it
I
just
thought- I
one?
thought it was just one.
Yeah, it's just one. I was thinking the spell slot, but nope, that doesn't increase people. So
Is that a dex save?
It's a con
With empty
save.
damage,
16.
Con save. Even better. My con is amazing. Okay, 16 was
So you
9 plus
succeed.
7. Oh,
So you'll take half damage.
You bamped
you're
it
gonna roll
away.
like
Okay,
max on
so
this.
9
So,
damage to you.
Zagrin and Calamity are teleported down to the far end of the hall. Essie, where you're at, there's a blast of thunder. The walls around you all kind of push in and go back to normal. Push in and go back to normal.
As this damage comes out, the device on her forearm just pulses, and it almost like shimmers and then breaks. But her protective field took all of that damage for her, so she's just gonna like stumble for a moment and then just start booking it down the full on run down the hall.
As you stumble back, between helping Zagrin go and then his sudden move, you're a little bit off balance. Please make me an acrobatics check not to fall into the wall.
It's all right. I'm real good at this. It's only a 12.
Oh, that's exactly what you needed. So you're able to you lean a little bit. Some of the fingers come out and just caress you slightly, but you pull back and are able to continue booking it down the hall.
She's gonna say, "I'm gonna kill you if this wall doesn't." She's running.
Mhm.
Nice. All right, we come back to Kit and Slaya. So you guys make it to the end of the hall, and you're looking down the way. You see a long hallway stretching out probably 40 feet, but you see a very bright room on the far side, and you can smell a little bit of decay coming from it.
Wait, hold on. This is the little door that we
Not
went
you
in?
guys. Sorry,
Oh.
not you two. We're talking Essie and Zagrin.
Okay.
So
Okay,
we'll leave
I'm
you
sorry.
on that.
I'm
Oh,
so
go ahead.
sorry. I thought that was Kit and Silius. Would you repeat that
no
for
problem.
me?
So about 40 feet more of this hallway with the arms and stuff in it. You're welcome. And you can see bright light, and you can smell a little bit of rot and decay, and it's warm in this section of the hallway. Whereas that other hall you looked down was cold, like freezing cold. Now looking down this hallway, it is hot, like uncomfortably warm.
And we didn't see anywhere to branch off in the hallways.
It's just a straight then left.
I'm just, come on, we gotta get out of here.
Keep it moving.
Pushing them forward, yeah. At this point, like I think I'm using movement speed and then double action to dash. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, but the ground is slowing you because it is so spongy. All right, we find ourselves back to Kit and Slayus. You're walking down this hall. As you're going down the stairs, there's steep steps. The steps creaking. They go down you go down about 10 feet, and the dirt gives way to this old stone. This old, ancient-looking stone, but it's mortared together. You go down another 10, 15, 20 feet, and you find yourselves at the base. It is dark, like as dark as anything as you get to the bottom. There's a stone floor. You look into the right, Kit, you're in the lead. You see a number of, you see this room. It is a stone room. It's dark, and there's a number of, not quite alcoves, but in each wall, there's a number of carve-outs. Like little beds, right? And within the carve-outs, you can see bones, what look like the bones of humanoids. You are in some kind of crypt. You're in some kind of crypt.
Did we hear the boom?
Did you hear the boom?
Or the fire or the shouting.
How loud's that thunderclap?
Says thunder can be heard up to 300 feet away.
Absolutely.
Mm.
It was
so
behind you.
When we hear the boom, I guess I don't know if we would feel it too, but
Yeah.
Kit will just kind of. I wonder what that was.
That sounds like Lord Zagrin's thunder step. I've heard it before.
Thunderstep. Hope they're okay.
If I know Lord Zagrin, he should be fine.
I just like this mental image of you cut to Essie and Zagrin is absolutely not fine.
So we can clearly see that this is a crypt, right? Like,
Yeah,
I could see in the dark.
You're in a room.
Pretty
You get
damn
in
good.
there a little bit. It's probably 30 by 30 square room. In the walls, there are 6 slots high. There are these little, graves, right, or places where bodies would be put. The ceilings here are probably 12 feet tall. This room here is extremely musty. It's damp. The floor is stone with dirt. There's mold growing in corners, and you can smell decay, and you can smell the mustiness. And it looks like it hasn't been disturbed in a long time.
Is there a way out, or is it just a grotto, like an enclosed?
Okay, you walk in a little bit further, and you can see that there are large stone doors on the right and left-hand side of the room. There are large doors on the right and left-hand side of the room. You also, as you're looking and you're paying attention, you start hearing rattling, like the rattle of bones.
Oh no.
You see a figure begin to crawl out of one of the crypts and stand up. Its muscles, or its bones, cracking into place as it twists its head, looks over. Now there's a light in the room as eye sockets from the skull begin to glow a little bit, and it starts stepping towards you.
It can see us?
It starts moving towards you. Whether it can see you or not is unclear. And now that you're looking, there's more movement in more of these alcoves. But it's not looking you dead in the eyes or anything, but it's beginning to move around the room.
I grab Kit and I kind of like move up to a blank spot on the wall, just out of the center of the room.
Like back towards
And
the way you came?
Yeah, like no, not toward the stairs, but next to the stairs. If they were going up the stairs, they would have to go past us.
Okay, got it.
And to
you
be
see-
like, keep quiet.
You see more
Wait.
figures, or more of these skeletons, begin to get up, and they're wandering around the room. You can see they're holding in their hands. Each of them somehow has gotten like a little rusted sword or club or some other weapon. And now as you're watching, first 1, then 2, then 4, 6. The longer you wait, the more of these skeletons seem to appear, and they begin milling around the room. Looking for things, bumping into stuff, reaching out. As they touch each other, they whack at each other, but they keep moving. And as this happens, more and more start appearing.
I'm gonna tug on Solace's sleeve and try to. I don't want to say anything, but try to like pull him in the direction of one of the doors, like towards one of the doors, and
Just
This
to be
is my
clear about the
thought,
doors,
exactly.
the doors are large stone doors. They look heavy and hard to shift, and each one has a like a bar in place that needs to be shifted out of the way. Does not
Okay.
look like something that could be done quietly.
still try to make it over there quietly, and then we're gonna have to get out of here. So
Shimmying along the wall
yeah.
All right,
as stealthily as possible.
make me a stealth check. There are things bumping around all over the place here.
15.
21.
All right.
You're rolling at advantage, right? Since you're invisible?
As
Oh.
you're
I didn't. Give me a second.
Yeah, take that advantage. 18. That's better.
18.
as you're moving, Solaeus, one of these things bumps into you directly, And as it bumps into you, in spite of not being able to see you, it takes a swing at whatever it bumped into with a 9. So you're able to duck out of the way, and you make it over to the door. Well, it just hits nothing. It just swings on air. And it keeps swinging for a bit until it gets into a confrontation with another skeleton. And they go at it until one of them hits the other with a club and
That's good.
shatters it. But as the one falls, another skeleton begins coming out of another one of these graves.
Well, they just keep infiniskeletons just spawning. Okay.
This is a good place to farm XP.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Okay, when we get to the door, try to open it together, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. You pull on the bar in the door, and as you do so, the two of you together, there is a very loud clunk as it pulls free and the door creaks open a little bit. The skeletons in the room all turn towards the door and start moving your way. Do you want to dash out into the hallway?
Yes.
All right.
Dash out into the hallway, yes.
Okay. As you dash
And
into
can
the
we close
hallway,
the door behind us, too?
you can try. Yeah, absolutely. So you pull it closed. You can't bar it from this side, or it was barred from the other side, but it closes behind you, and you can hear the scratching and knocking on the far side of the door as something is trying to come through. Once again, the floor is sinking in and sponging, and arms are reaching out from the sides. And we cut away from you to Essie and Zagrin.
Fucking arms.
Running for their life down the arm hallway.
So you're moving down the hallway as quickly as you can, being careful not to step too close to the wall. You're never more than grazed or lightly grabbed by one of these arms that's come out of the walls. And you make your way through. That's a nice mug. You make your way through to the end of the hall, and you find yourselves in this brightly lit but extremely disgusting kitchen. The same kitchen I described to Kit and Slayus earlier. There is a pile of bodies off to your left. There's a table covered in rotten food. There's a stove that is bright and hot. In fact, now that you've made it in here, you find you're sweating a little bit. And
No sign of Kit and Slayus. Kit, Slayus.
no, to your left, you see this pantry. So there's this pile of bodies. There's this table. There's this pantry. There's the rest of the big open kitchen to your right. On the far side of the pantry, there's a set of stairs that lead up to the next level.
Damn, maybe we should have went up.
So the way up is the only.
No, there's also a hall at the very far side of the room. Another hall like the one that you were just in.
So there's up or a different hallway, but it's the same material.
Looks similar from what you can tell over here, although it's a good ways across.
I hear a
believe we-
chainsaw too.
Yeah.
It's like some spooky beast
Right.
monster.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's what's going on here.
I believe we should try to find our friends before we venture further up. They would have entered on this floor.
You think so? They were for sure trying to find us too, right? Like they weren't just going off on their own.
Well, at this point, if they're in here with us, and we have to hazard that they would be, I gotta imagine they're nearby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can one of
past
you
the
roll me
skeleton
a
room?
perception check, please?
I've got it. Elspeth Pack Guarantee of Excellence, since we're not hidden anymore. Oh, that's not good. 9, 10, 11, 14. Not terrible.
14. See the pile of bodies to the left is shifting slightly.
Oh, come on.
Now that you're looking at it, there's another pile of refuse over by the stove, and that pile also seems to be shifting. As you watch,
No, we gotta get out of here.
they visibly raise up, each at least a foot, and you can hear some strange sounds coming from them. What do y'all want to do?
Okay, which way is? Do we have to get past them to get
You have
to the
to
other
get past
hallway?
them to get to the hallway or get to the stairs. So there's one off to your left as you'd go towards the stairs. There's one off to your right as you'd go towards the hallway on the other side. There is
think we're
no
just-
path that leaves you entirely clear of these things.
I think I'm just ushering Calamity forward and trying to get to the other hallway. That's where we're trying to go.
You're going all the way across?
Right.
Yeah, I think the goal is the other highway.
And if I have to
hallway.
pick her up to do that, I'm doing that.
Yeah, so you'll start darting across. The floor is slippery. Like there's so much broken shit and garbage on the floor that it's hard to make your way across, and it's loud. You now see these mounds have gotten to at least 4 feet tall. As you get close to the one on the right, you can see that it is this large mound of flesh, and you can see from within it a mouth forms, and then another and another. As strange jaws begin opening and closing within the flesh. At the same time, you listen and you can hear something. You hear something speaking to you. You almost understand it. You almost understand it as you get past it, and the words begin to creep into your mind. I need each of you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
It's just what I wanted to do in my life.
16.
13.
All right, you're able to block it out. You're able to block it out as you keep moving. You're almost to the hallway on the other side, and then Zagrin, you find yourself struck, senseless for a minute. Your eyes roll up into your head, and you find yourself no longer in this kitchen, right? But instead, you are looking at Rosanna, the city of your birth, your home.
Uh-oh.
But as you see it, it looks strange. Hold on, I know why it looks strange, but I need my little card. There it is. Phew. It looks strange to you. In fact, it looks strange because you see now the people of the city in the streets, many of them in chains. It looks like they are actively working at something, right? There are folks that seem to be overseeing them, a mixture of drow, humans, orcs, and others, right? Clearly driving the people of your city to some sort of task. And in the center, you see this large monument beginning to be erected. Rosanna is clearly, and then now that you've seen more of the city, it looks like many of the great and beautiful works of the city have been torn down, and the place has been ravaged by flame. You see the people of your city working towards some task, clearly somewhat enslaved. And you're back in this kitchen with this vision fresh in your mind. To your right, this figure, this mound of flesh has gotten bigger, right? Till it's standing almost 8 feet tall, filling a section of the kitchen. Another one further down. Do y'all want to slip into the hallway or face this thing?
Run, for sure. 100%. Gotta go. We gotta go. Get in the. So is Zagrin the only one?
Zagrin stumbled for a minute, right?
Okay.
And stood there fixed. But
I
then
think
quickly
Esty would've been
you see him snap back to reality.
How long did it take for him to snap back? Like, was it pointed?
Seconds.
Like a second? Okay. Come on, we gotta go. Let's go. And she's just gonna start booking it down the hallway as
Nice.
fast as
Yeah.
Calamity's in front of her so that she doesn't outpace her.
Okay.
so that Essie doesn't outpace Calamity.
Calamity's
Zagran will
going.
almost go like he's going to strike the mound, but then as Essie moves, he keeps his eye on it, but starts to move down the hall.
Yeah, great. Great. The whispers from this mound follow you as you step into the hallway, but it seems to recede as you turn the corner. Once again, arms out there. You look down. You see a door. You see a door open in the center of the hall, off to the right, and further past it, a layer of ice.
I'm so sorry. I'm so stressed right now. So there's the the hallway with the ice, and then a second one, or just the hallway?
So
with
you're
the ice?
in one hallway that's running very long. To the right-hand side, about 30 feet up, there's an open door.
Okay.
There's an open door. Past the door, the wall goes from that wallpaper, and again, the hallway gets shorter as you go further. So Zagran, you're already finding you have to duck a lot to move through. Past that, over the hall, it changes to a stone and looks like it's even smaller. And once again, like you saw in that hallway that would have gone left out of the foyer in which you entered, there is a thin layer of ice on the ground. So you can go down the hall and take the door, or you can go past the door and go onto the ice.
I think I'd take the door.
I'll follow.
All right.
If we're making split-second decisions, I don't. The ice hallway seems like not a great way to go with a giant, very tall man with us.
Yeah. Great. So you begin heading down. You begin heading down, but it is pitch dark. Pitch dark, but you hear like a rattling, scratching sound down below. Calamity goes, I can't see anything. I'm gonna make a little light.
I don't know if that's the. Alright. I don't know if that's the best way to go about this. Can I still see with dark vision? Can I see anything?
But it is dark. It is not easy to see at all.
I think I can guide you. Hold up, we don't know what's down there. I'll like grab her hand.
Lead the way.
Yeah.
Okay, again, you're
one
on
hand
very
on my musket and one hand on Calamity.
very steep stairs. You're going down first now. Very steep wooden stairs with a heavy creak to it. You begin walking down the stairs. It's at least 25, maybe 30 feet down. A very long staircase, and again, the dirt on the side. That the hallway is dirt at first, and then the stairway is dirt at first, and then changes to this rough stone, this old seeming stone. And we go over to Kit and Selaeus. So Kit and Selaeus, you are moving through. So you've closed the door. You can hear the scratching and banging at the far side. But you find yourselves in this hallway. You find yourselves in this hallway.
A dirt hallway with still spongy ground.
No, not dirt. Wood floor hallway. It's very similar to the one that you saw upstairs, with arms that come out of the side as you get close.
We're still invisible.
You are?
And we've seen this before, so we'll stay towards the middle. Exactly in the middle.
We'll join hands.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll walk down the middle.
Yeah, just heading down the hall. What can we see? Like, what's at the end of the hall?
Yeah. So you're moving down the hallway. As you go, can each of you roll me a d6, please?
Gladly.
1.
4.
Kit, you find yourself struck as you move down the hallway. Selaeus, you can feel Kit like tense up and freeze.
What is
Kit,
it?
You are pulled away. You are pulled away, and you see a vision. You recognize Essie's dad, right? Like you've seen him before. You see him, but he's looking, where he looks strong, vibrant, full of life, right? Confident. Now instead he looks looks thin. Like he looks like he's lost a significant amount of weight. You can see worry etched into his face. And now that you get a good look at him, he's not in his home or any place. You recognize he's in some sort of prison cell. He's in some sort of prison cell. He has his head in his hands. And he looks up and he looks at you, and you can see recognition on his face. And then you're back in the hallway. You find yourself stumbling a little bit, but you're able, because you're so dexterous, you're able to easily recover your balance and
What is
continue
it?
moving.
I saw a vision. You didn't see it.
No, ignore it. It is not real. It is an
Right.
illusion.
All right, let's keep going.
Focus.
Keep running.
Yeah, keep going forward.
You keep moving. You keep moving, and you find yourselves moving into a very large room. It seems like pretty normal basement, actually, like dirt floor, dirt walls. There's cleaning supplies. The room goes forward, except for it's really big. Once again, the room goes forward about 60 feet. Then there's it looks like it's a bit of a rectangle, so it goes forward 60 feet, and then about 30 feet on the right-hand side, there's another opening, and it's solid to left, and then wall on the far side. As you move in a little bit further, there are a number of tools, and it looks like this room is overall kind of like a big U shape, right, where it's equal on the left and the right, and then the center is longer, right, and has a middle part that doesn't fit in the in between the two spaces. So there's like dirt in between the two wings of the room. Looks like a utility room. There's a little stove. There's a little stove in one corner that's burning, but not burning particularly noticeable. It looks normal, dry. Nothing's threatening you. There's a door. There's a door that leads to the north side of the room, or the door on the north side of the room that leads somewhere.
Probably just trying to move through, not stopping. Especially if there's nothing to stop us here. I think
Not as
Kit
far as
at
you
least
can
would just keep moving towards the door that she can see.
Which way?
So there are two doors. There's one
Okay.
door that leads like on the other. So imagine this room is like a U. So there's a door just like the one you came through to get in here that leads back in that same direction, right? Supposedly towards the crypt, or it could be somewhere else. Or there's a door
Okay.
that leads in the opposite direction, or in the continuing the direction of travel that you've been moving in towards another place. Both doors, or all three doors, look identical in this room.
And they're barred. They're all barred.
Oh, they're normal wooden doors.
Probably not going back in the direction that we came. Probably continuing in the direction that we're going.
Great.
That's it. Whatever door we go out, I'm gonna take out one of those glow stones and just drop it. Leave it there.
Great.
Good plan.
Great. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you pull open this this last door, and you find yourself with probably 100 feet of hall. Once again, stone walls, and a thin layer of ice. The whole thing at most 4 feet tall. And it almost looks like it gets shorter as you go.
To
Oof.
what end?
You can't see. So you can see that there's something on the far side, but you don't see what.
I don't like the look of that hallway.
Me neither.
Should we try the other door?
I'm not sure.
At least take a look, maybe?
We'll take a peek. Yeah, let's go look at the other door.
Okay, you go to open the other door, and we cut away to Essie and Zagrin.
Hmm.
So Essie and Zagrin. Essie, you're leading the way. You're beginning to walk down the stairs. You can hear actually a lot of creaking and scraping down below. As you get down there, you see that it is some kind of crypt. But you see a figure move in and out of the bottom of the stairwell and kind of twist around. A little bit of light coming off the figure. It looks like a skeleton.
Do I see any more? Or
Not
just the
from
one?
where you're at, but you can hear a lot of noise.
All right, I think we might have to fight our way through this. I can maybe blast them away, but we gotta run. Get ready to run. I'll switch. My musket will like just go over my back and just like hold there, and she will one hand on Calamity, and she's gonna put one hand up as they go down. She's gonna say, "You get ready to run, all right?"
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I can't see anything though. I'm not letting go.
That's all right. I won't let go. And she'll just like take a breath and like visibly calm, and she'll just say ain't the first time that I dealt with skeletons. All right? They're easily blasted away. Just stick with me.
All right. You get to the bottom of the stairs. I want everybody to roll a d6, please.
4.
4.
Okay. You see Calamity, or you feel Calamity, seize up for a minute as she's going down the stairs. Very similar to the way that you saw Zagrin seize up.
If I have to, I'll just pick her up with an arm.
So you do, because she's frozen and isn't moving. After, like, Zagrin's was momentary, like maybe 3 seconds, 6 seconds. But
Yeah.
within a minute, or within a second, or a couple seconds, she has not recovered.
I'm just gonna like fireman carry her, throw her over my shoulder. She's gotta weigh like 40 pounds, right? Just
Not much.
throw her over and say, "All right, we gotta get out of here."
You get down the
And-
bottom of the stairs. You see a room packed with skeletons. There's at least a dozen.
Could we make a break for it through them? Like,
You could try
Is
and
there
rush
any-
through, but there's a whole crowd of them. A number of them would get the chance to try and stab you or attack you.
so bonus action, everyone gets 10 points of temporary hit points from my protector device. And I'm going to say, I think I can blast them away with a thunderous energy to give ourselves a little bit more of a chance.
Yeah, and you see the room. It's got these little cutouts for little graves, right? There's still, you see bodies in each of them, right? Like lots of skulls and other bones around. There's a couple on the ground, and there's, again, like at least a dozen skeletons milling about inside this room. As you come down and as you talk, you see them all turn, red eyes, glowing eyes, focusing on you, and they
I'll
begin
start running.
crowding in and moving in your direction.
So
You gonna try and run
when they get close, like when they converge, I'm going to cast Thunder Wave.
Okay.
Or just like this, a thunderous energy is gonna like and just discharge like in front. Actually, I think it's all around me, so I'm gonna just I'm gonna let Zagrin know, like I'm gonna push him away, and then that's our chance. And so
Yes, lead the way.
Your calamities start to come to consciousness on your shoulder.
Yep. To every, I don't know if they're converging or what's happening, but as soon as
They
they're
are.
all around me, they have to make a
All right, a couple of them.
Constitution saving throw.
So here's the deal: you can wait for a whole bunch to get around you, but some of them are going to get attacks in on you and Calamity, or you can do it right away before they get close enough to get their hands on you, but you'll get fewer. You could likely get the whole dozen if you're willing to take a few shots.
I'll take a risk.
Okay.
I'll take a couple. We've both got a little extra protection.
The two of them attack you. One with a 22 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
You take 7. You take 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
2 go for Calamity. 2 go for Calamity, and 2 of them hit her. For a total
And then
of
just-
10 points of damage.
So the protective barrier negates all of that. but it shatters at that point.
Okay.
And just this like discharge of like lightning energy comes out and all around her in a 15-foot cube.
Okay.
And they all have to make a DC of 15 Constitution save or get pushed back 10 feet.
And damaged, correct?
Yes. And damage. Which is 10 points of thunder damage.
Zagrin, you see this best, right? As Essie steps out holding Calamity, a number of these creatures gather around her and begin stabbing at her, clubbing at her. And then suddenly this wave of energy just blows out from her, and this crowd of skeletons that's on her gets blasted to pieces. With only of the dozen or so that were there, 3 are remaining, and the rest are shattered and shoved back.
Nice.
I'm just running. I'm bolting
Yeah,
for the
this is
door.
our chance. Let's go
So
for it.
there are 2 doors. There's a door to the left and a door to the right. Which one do you want to go for?
Does one look like it's been opened recently?
It's
Any-
neither of them are so obvious that you'd be able to tell without spending a second looking. If you're making a split-second decision, you're just gonna have to call it left or right.
Left.
All right. I'll
All right.
tear open the door.
You get to the left. You get to the left side door. The latch. There's a big bar latching it, but that latch has already been pulled open.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Zagrin, one of these things is gonna get an attack of opportunity as you run past.
Bring it on. I got my temp hit points.
It misses, and you're able to go through. So you find
Nice.
yourselves in that same style hallway that you've seen before, and you begin traversing it. Kit and Selaeus, you open this other door. And through it you see, whereas everything here has been kind of straight hallways or very smooth out stone, here you're looking at a large, probably 15-foot wide stone tunnel, right where the ground is uneven. There are stalactites and stalagmites, and everything is kind of twisted, and the whole thing seems to go like down and then up, and you can't quite see where it's going to.
And do we hear this thunder clap from down the hallway that we just came out of?
Is Thunderwave loud? Essie?
Yeah, thunder wave's loud.
Let's see. 300 feet.
Yeah.
Thunderous
So you
boom.
do hear that boom coming back. In fact, you hear, as you open the door, you hear a muffled boom from down the hall.
They're gonna come back and help us, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up that glowstone because we didn't go through that door.
What was that?
Are you gonna go down this hallway?
Not yet. If we just open the door, it came from behind us, right?
You definitely heard it ahead and behind. But you hear a
that-
thudding ahead.
Is that something coming for us?
I don't want to take any chances.
Which hole do you like the look of best?
Neither.
I know, but I don't like the small one. It seems a bit...
Trixie.
And the ice. I'd be more inclined to go down the bigger one.
The cavernous cave.
Yeah.
All right, I'll drop the glowstone there.
And you start heading down the cave.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Start
We'll leave
working
the
your-
door open. We'll leave the door open this time.
You start working your way down the cave. The ground sinks down pretty significantly, as in it slopes downwards. Not like you're sinking through the ground once again. It slopes downwards. You're looking on the ground, Selaeus. You can see batshit on the ground.
Guano.
And a fair bit of it, yes, guano. There you go. A fair bit of it in places. You keep moving. Y'all are still invisible, right?
Yeah.
Invisible and silent. So you keep moving, And as you look up, Solace, you can see colonies of bats up in the stalactites.
Hope you had your rabies vaccination.
Oh my god, rabies is the scariest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, it is.
That's the true horror.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess just keep moving
Keep silent.
forward and trying to be quiet.
All right.
Yeah.
Guys, roll me a stealth stealth check, please.
Okay.
With advantage because we're invisible.
Actually, Kit is going to roll with advantage. You are not, because this is sound that matters in this case.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's not the greatest. I rolled a 2 and a 5, but I have a plus 10, so that's a 15.
Okay.
Uh-oh. 10 plus 18.
Oh, that's not uh-oh.
I rolled a 10.
Kit, there's a little bit of rock that shifts as you move, and there's some noise from above, but the bats don't seem to be disturbed. Disturbed as you go through. You get to the far end of the hall, and once again you see a stone door, very similar to the one that you went through from the crypt.
Bats. Let's do
Okay.
it.
I guess we're gonna go through it. Try to open it and go through it.
You try and open it, it's barred. It's not moving at all. You don't see any sort of lock. We're gonna pause you, Essie and Zagrin. Y'all come through another one of these hallways. And you open up into a room. So it's a large room, dirt walls, dirt floor, kind of U-shaped as you get to explore it. There's a fireplace on one side. There are some candles, so it's lit in here. Looks like there's some cleaning implements, some gardening implements, some other things in here that's otherwise empty. You do notice a glowstone, Zagrin, by the door, basically opposite the one you came in on the other side of the U. And there's another
Yes.
door that leads the other way.
Essie, I believe this belonged to Solaeus. This is a good sign.
Hopefully
You
we'll
wanna-
catch up with them soon.
Do you want to call out for them in this hallway? So you see this open door, and there is a like I described, a wide stone tunnel
I
going
don't
down.
I don't think that we would call out.
Zagrin would, and I'll tell you why, is because he's been
Oh,
holding
no.
the concentration on Solaeus's invisibility spell, so knows that he wouldn't be able to see him if he was down there. So knowing that he's holding on to that concentration, he's going to call out, Solaeus, kid.
Siren!
Nice.
No, we don't want anything to know we're down here.
Nice. As
Yeah,
you
we perk up. We're like, oh.
as y'all hear this voice behind you, and both of you immediately look up, and you see probably 10,000 little eyes open as
Oh no.
this
10,000.
huge number. It's probably not. Who knows, right? Like an incalculable number of little eyes open, and Zagrin, Essie, Kit, and Solaeus. There are bats going fucking bat wild here.
Hey.
Yeah, as a ton of bats start zooming around. All right, so everybody, you have a minute to react. Or a sec. You have an instant to react. So everybody, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna grab Kit and force her to the ground, put my cloak over, and basically just get on the ground.
I'm gonna pull Zager back and shut the door. I don't know what else to do.
Oh no, we're
Nice.
trapped in here.
Great. Yeah, so you hear the door at the far side close, and bats are flying around in a swarm. So you drop your coat over your cloak over both of you and drop to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel things battering at your cloak, and you can hear a lot of squeaking bat noises. You know, Essie and Zagrin, you hear a lot of bat activity on the far side. Let's go ahead. So you can each make me, Kit and Solaeus, each make me a dexterity check, a dexterity saving throw. If you succeed, you will not get bit by the bats at all. if you fail, there's going to be some bat damage.
Nice.
Zagrin and Calamity have another 10 temporary hit points again. I re-upped that.
Okay.
I got 23.
17.
All right, you're under the cloak, and it takes a couple minutes, but after about 10 minutes of hanging out down there, the bats
Oh,
calm down, and you no longer hear them moving around. So Essie and Zagrin, same thing from the far side. Essie, you lean and listen at the door after closing it, and you can hear the same thing. Like the bats eventually calm down. In the middle, you don't hear any knocking or any other sign at the door.
He's
Just hear,
better
like,
at
this
talking with
flurry of
people.
bat activity.
All right, I think it might be safe, but Zagrin, you just not a peep, all right? Bats can just don't make a noise. Let's go. I'll hold on. Is Calamity awake at all, or is she still like
Calamity's been awake.
fireman?
Calamity's
Okay.
been awake for a bit, actually. So she's looking around and she's looking haunted. She's looking haunted. Speaking of which, during this time, I would like everybody, lottie-dottie, everybody, to roll me a d6, please.
5.
4.
5.
2.
Oh no.
Right. All right. Nothing interesting happens.
Oh.
I say, now's our time. Now's our chance. Quick. I help Kit to her feet.
I'll have set Calamity down and just be tiptoeing my way down the stairs.
Oh, so there's no stairs, to be clear. It is
Oh,
if you
it's
open the
just
door, it's
flat.
a tunnel. So as you open the door, Kit and Slash, you can see the light coming back from the way that you came, like a little bit of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna make our way there.
All right, roll me a stealth check. Bats are a little bit on edge, though, guys.
Bats are on edge.
Oh, there's
rolled
poor
a-
bats.
29.
Oh my god.
I got a 17.
All right,
It's
guys,
amazing.
you're able to leave, and you see at the far end, you see Zagrin, Essie, and Calamity.
Interesting place, isn't it?
Oh my god. By the holy gate. She'll jump out of her skin.
It's just us, the bats. We've got to be quiet.
Yeah.
Are you all alright?
I think so.
We are. However, there's a locked door at the end of this cavern.
We couldn't open it.
Is there any way? Is that the only way to get out?
The other door is another ice path.
Ugh.
We may have seen the ice path in the initial entryway. We avoided it until now, but nothing about this place seems to make sense. I've been trying to keep a map in my head, and it's just not adding up.
No, there is some sort of magical influence. Something going on.
Kit, do you think you can unlock the door with your thieves' tools if you take a minute, or nothing?
I didn't see any locks. That's correct, right, Jason? I didn't see any locks. Nothing for me to pick. It's just... It didn't open. It's barred shut.
It looked very similar to the door that you came through on the other side.
Like to go back into where the...
The crypt was. It looked like one of the crypt doors.
Oh. It looked like maybe it goes back into where the skeletons are, though.
Well, I'd rather avoid them if we can. There's just so many of them.
Well, there's less for the moment, but they seem to be. Let's go back out so we don't disrupt the bats.
Good idea.
Agreed.
Like we're just sitting over here talking.
You,
I imagine that we had like walked.
Yeah.
You're
out of the
back in the
cavern.
utility room. You close the door. And it's been, I don't know, Kit and Selaeus, it's probably been 15 minutes since you got here, maybe 20, right?
Mhm.
You notice that the room The room's like noticeably warmer than it was when you first walked in.
Because there's a fireplace in here.
There is a fireplace, yes, a very small fireplace in one corner. As you look over at it, Slayus, you can see that there's a pot on it, and it's starting to shake a little bit. Pot's starting to shake like an old style pot would on a wood stove that was hot, right?
I think we need to keep moving. Whenever we stand still, bad things happen.
Ice path.
All right.
All right, at least we're together now.
Yeah. We've been trying to track you down for this whole time.
Again, standing still is not the best idea.
Yeah. All right. Calamity, it might be best if you go first down the ice path, or do you want one of us to go first? One of us? All right.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll go.
maybe-
I'll go.
There we
It's
go.
fine.
Well,
Unless-
we're still invisible. We should.
Just
I
go
think
first.
maybe we should go first.
All right. I'm not going to argue on that. I do better from range anyway.
All right.
How
we'll
long have we
head-
been in here in general, like in the house?
Not long. Like y'all haven't even got. You're maybe 30 minutes. You're under an hour for sure.
Okay. Well, our invisibility still holds out.
All right. I'll be right behind you.
All right. I guess I'll go first,
Sure.
unless you want to do it, because you're tiny.
I mean, I can go first. Yeah, I don't mind. I've been kind of leading, so.
All right, hit it up. I'm right behind you. I
I'll
guess Calamity would be behind me, and then
Yeah.
you guys would. Okay.
Yep. And then I just want to. Calamity's so little, and I don't want her to either A, fall behind, or B, like us miss her, and then she's just gone. So I'll put her in front of me and.
We've been known to do that, so.
I'll take up the rear.
Or just get destroyed with a thunder step of some kind.
Yeah. Fortunately, I gotta keep an eye out on Calamity.
All right, so you head in. So Kit, you're first. So as you get in, it's at best 4 foot high, and it seems to be getting smaller as you go. You step in, and you can feel the ice under your foot creak as you step on it. This is not thick ice.
Oh no!
It's very.
What's on the
very
other
thin.
side of it?
You can't see. Do you want to bust some through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before
so
we go further in.
you break a little bit through with your dagger. Do you want to put your hand in the water?
There's water.
There's
It's
water
not good.
underneath. Yeah.
Oh no! I am
Dagger.
terrified.
Oh my god. Why did there have to be water underneath?
Sure. But
Put
I'm
your
holding
hand-
on to this with the other hand.
Okay. You put your hand in the water, and it is cold. It's cold. You easily go down to your wrist, and it's cold, and you don't feel anything yet. Do you want to reach in deeper?
Yeah.
You reach in.
Why?
You reach into your elbow. Reach into your elbow, and you feel around, and you feel over where the wall should be, right? That stone wall, and you feel nothing on the underside. Do you want to reach in deeper?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh
You reach
no.
You reach in even deeper now. Now your arm's up in almost up to your shoulder, and you're reaching around, and you don't feel anything, but the water, you almost feel something move in the water. You begin to draw your hand back, and you feel a skeletal hand clamp suddenly around your wrist and pull at you.
No.
But with Zagrin anchoring you, you're able to pull your arm out. You were able to go all the way to your shoulder in that water underneath this and looking at the ice, it is thin.
Yeah, I'd pull you back.
All right. I think I would like at that point like just back out of the tunnel and
You didn't go far. You're at the very edge. The room that you're in is
Right.
still warm, especially after that cold water. Like it is warm in here. In fact, if you're wearing a cloak or a lot of clothing, like you have a strong desire to take off a layer. It is. And like now that you've looked over the stove, it's starting to that kettle on it is starting to rattle. There's steam coming off it now.
I'm just gonna look at my arm where I felt the skeletal hand
Yeah.
and
You can see on your wrist, you can see the mark, like almost as if your skin is white where it touched you, right? Drained of color.
the
hell?
ice is not thick. I don't know if it'll hold us. And she'll point to her arm. There's something in it. In the water below.
There's water underneath that ice. Essie's face will like visibly get pale.
Well, there has to be another way. Is there a bucket in the room?
There is.
Can I go?
absolutely.
I'm gonna grab it. Can I? I'm gonna fill it up with some of this water.
So you're gonna have to break out a bigger section. So again,
I'm gonna
Kid
do
only
that.
broke out a small section. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna take a fucking bucket full of water. I need to try something. And I'm gonna go over to the fireplace and I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Um,
Try and douse the fire.
It's a
Yeah.
steam room now.
Yeah. So as you do,
Rana?
there's a lot of steam, and the fire dims for a minute, but then comes back almost brighter, right? And now you can see like the waves of heat coming off, and the stove, the metal on the stove, is beginning to turn red in places.
I don't know. We gotta get out of here.
Which way
Find
do we
that the
go?
heat has kicked up to a not insignificant degree.
I think we have to.
We might have to go back to the crypt room and try the other door.
How far in the crypt room? How far were the doors away from each other? Like, could you go whoop?
30 feet across.
All right.
What if the other door just goes into the cave tunnel?
With the bats.
Well, the option is the cave tunnel with the bats, or a door we haven't tried.
Back upstairs, maybe?
You want to go through all of that? Back up?
I don't know, but I don't want to go through the ice tunnel.
I'm not arguing that we should. I don't want to be on thin ice over a bunch of water.
So remembering back, Essie, you remember there was the ice tunnel when you were in the foyer. There was the ice tunnel to your left. There was a somewhat normal seeming hallway directly ahead of you. So there's one that you haven't explored that way. There is also, when you were in the upstairs, to the right of the, if you come up the stairs and leave the basement, to your right, there will be another ice tunnel. To the left, more of this terrible hallway, but from the kitchen, there were stairs that went upstairs.
But we'd have to go past that flesh creature.
There were two flesh creatures, as far as you were aware.
In the kitchen, did you see a couple flesh creatures? Because if we go back to the kitchen, we're going to have to fight those things or fight our way through those things.
Flesh creatures?
We didn't see any flesh creatures.
Yeah.
They're
Well, they were
quite
foremen.
large and gave me some horrific vision.
You had one
Speaking of which,
too?
can everybody roll me a d6?
No. I kind of want to fail to see what I see.
5.
3.
1.
3.
Oy.
Zagrin. Zagrin, you see a view. You see a view of a man. A man that looks like they're sleeping, or maybe dead. Looks like they're dead. Their body wrapped in bandages, almost like a mummy, but they seem more vibrant than that. The man is absolutely wrapped and bound with chains. Now that you're looking at it, their body is laying on this stone pedestal, the stone slab. And they're in this large stone room, and the chains are wrapped around his body, and they're also anchored in multiple places in this room. As you're looking down, because you're looking down at this man, you look around, you see the room. As you look down at the man, you see his face. You can only partially see it because some of it is obscured with bandages, his eyes closed. As you're looking at him, you see suddenly the eyes open and look at you, and you hear a rattle of chains, and then you're back in the room.
Oh my god.
It's terrifying. These visions. We need to press forward. We need to make a decision. I can't stay here too much longer.
Okay, so we have the ice place, which I'm not a fan of going in. We have the hallway that seemed pretty normal, and then we have going past flesh creatures and going upstairs. It's kind of our three options.
Calamity, you feel her tugging at your sleeve, Essie,
Yeah.
and she points over at the stove, and you see now it's red. That kettle that was on it is still rattling, but it sounds like it's a dry rattling on the stove, and you
gotta
see
go right now.
flames beginning to leak out of the
Yep. Let's
of
go
the
back.
stove, and the flames begin building into some form around it.
Yep.
So
yep.
sorry,
all
what
right.
were y'all gonna do?
Run
Agnes!
immediately. Run.
I think as we are literally sprinting, because Essie's like dragging Calamity along with her, I think she'd say the normal hallway or upstairs.
We have to get through the crypt first.
Yeah.
So into that room.
Yeah, so you run back down the hallway, and you open up the crypt, or the door to the crypt. Again, assume you're moving. You pull open the door to the crypt, and you see still just the 3 skeletons in there, wandering around. As you open the door, they turn and look at you and begin shuffling in your direction.
Just bust past him. Just
Can
like
I-
try
can I
to avoid
just,
him.
Yeah.
Dodge.
All right, folks, make
Yeah, I'm
me, somebody make me, whoever's in the lead, make me an acrobatics check, and we'll see if you can just get through without them getting to you.
I was just gonna step forward and smash the shit out of all of them.
I
Fair
think I
enough.
would unholster Lights Out and take a shot.
Yeah, I have 4 attacks. I'm gonna try and crack all of these.
All right, so between them, you're able to move through and crunch the skeletons pretty quickly, right? But there's more rattling. You're able to get the ones close to you, but there's more rattling as more of these figures seem to be appearing from the crypts now that you're in here, or appearing from the graves.
All right.
Let's
all
go.
right.
Let's go.
Can we check the other door quick? Because there's
Alright.
another door here.
Okay, we are going to roll some initiative if we're hanging out in here, which is totally fine. But everybody,
I don't think we should hang around in here.
Probably not. If we have to, yeah. If it would take longer than like a second or two, then just.
Okay, we're gonna ignore this door.
I think it leads to the cave. That's my guess.
It seemed like it
Okay.
was the other side of the door, right?
Okay.
That was what the impression I got. Okay.
Right on. Okay, yeah, I'll crack a few of these skeletons on my way out.
yeah, they're crunching under your fists, like y'all are shredding through them, but
Yeah.
they seem to just
Keep coming.
coming.
All right, close the door behind us.
Yep.
My invisibility is no longer on, I assume.
Right,
Yeah, okay.
right. Kit's the only one able to still be invisible.
Nice.
But is she unseen though?
Who knows?
No. Not at all. Something is probably something that has like a hollow projector watching our struggles in some creepy top room
Just
somewhere.
stroking a cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. You
I'm
climb the
looking
stairs.
for
Sorry, go
the
ahead.
hallway that looks normal.
So
or like the one
your
hallway that we
left-
didn't.
normal is a strong
Well,
word.
yeah.
to your left, there is the hallway that you've been through a number of times that leads back towards the kitchen. To your right, there is that same, much more narrow, ice pathway.
Ice hallway. Ice path doesn't seem right anymore.
No ice path.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to either run through or fight through these flesh creatures, so be ready.
Right. I don't know what you're talking about when you say flesh creatures.
Do I still have my temporary hit points?
Everyone does. Now,
But
anyone
not
within
us, right?
I'll re-up it. Anyone within 10 feet of me gets 9 points.
Ooh.
So if we're in a
Cool.
tight
So
little
you can-
formation.
You can do it on the stairwell, yeah.
9. Excellent.
I'm getting big Scooby-Doo vibes here. Y'all
Yeah.
crouched together.
Yeah.
Except for Scooby-Doo
And like
didn't
you
have
go through one
a
door
shield.
here and come out over here. Like we're having Scooby-Doo logic with the doors too.
Mhm.
It is the greatest literature, detective literature known to mankind, Scooby-Doo.
I'm gonna pull the mask off the flesh creature.
Good luck.
You meddling kids!
It's Falchion.
Oh god. He ate too many turkey legs.
I would have gotten away with it.
All right.
All right.
So as you get to the top of the stairs, you make a left.
Yes.
As you get to the top of the stairs and you begin moving down to the left, again, the arms are out there, but you now are experienced. You know the pathway. You don't stop. You keep moving. A cold wind blows at your back. Frigid, freezing, especially compared to that hot room that you were in a minute ago. The
Mhm.
sweat that's risen on the back of your neck from being in that hot room, evaporates and turns so cold as this cold air touches it. Keep moving. You get
Mhm.
finally to the kitchen, and to your delight maybe is the wrong word, you don't see these creatures that Essie had been warning you about. You see that same disgusting kitchen that you were in before.
Just hurry through. Just
Yeah. Go up. Upstairs.
Stairs up. Yeah.
Okay. So you turn and you've been heading up the stairs.
I feel
The
like
second
Stop smirking.
I feel like the threats only come when we linger. Right? Like those flesh creatures weren't there again. Probably because we weren't here. It just seems to be time related.
Mm. It's true.
All right.
Something, unfortunately, I think is hurting us.
Well,
Does
we'll
anybody
find
else
out
get that feeling?
soon enough.
I feel like there's like a godlike entity just smirking down at us from somewhere, and I don't like it.
Some
You know,
sort
I
of-
felt that too.
Yeah, like
left-
the hairs on the back of my neck stood up for a second.
some malevolent
Even
force.
the most evil of gods would not take such delight. It must be a demon.
All right.
I got
Upstairs.
something for all of you.
Essie's gonna do that thing where she like is holding her musket up and just waiting for people to go up the stairs so that nobody's left behind.
Mhm.
As,
You're
as
just
you're-
gesturing with
as
your
people are
mask.
as people are passing you going up the stairs, there's a pile of probably 6 bodies right near you, right? That
Yes,
same
sir.
pile that you saw before. And as they're moving up, you see that pile begin to rise once again. You
Double
hear
time.
that strange talking. Everyone roll me a d6, please.
Uh-huh. 2.
4.
3.
3.
Nice.
Essie,
Aw.
you're standing there, you're looking at this, and like you see not just the mouths, but eyes in the creature, and for whatever reason, you see those eyes are mesmerizing. The eyes are mesmerizing, and suddenly you find you're not looking at this creature, but you're looking actually at your dad.
Dad?
Your dad, but he's not at home. He's not at home. He's looking a fair bit thinner, stressed. His hair is grayer by a significant portion, and he's there on some kind of battlement. You see him, and now that you've seen him, you see there's a bunch of people on this battlement, and he's got his rifle leaned over, and he's shooting, and other people are popping over with crossbows and things, and there are things coming up at him, both magic and weapons. He ducks down on the far side of the battlement to reload his rifle, and as he does, you can see that he's taken a very significant wound to his left arm near his chest. But he shakes it off, stands up, turns to shoot some more, and you're back there in the hallway.
She'll just like almost take a step forward and then shake it off and just like scramble back up the stairs, like wiping a tear from her eye as she goes.
Right?
Would Kit have noticed this, or is Kit too far?
If you're headed up first, she is the last one up. But you might.
I said
catch
I
it.
was the last.
Okay.
She
mean-
looks like she's been pretty until the water. She's been pretty cool. Like, yeah, there's stress, but she's been handling it okay until the water. You saw her freaked out, and then she got better again, and now she looks just so pale, freaked out. Like she's trying to compose herself, but she does not look like she's in a good spot.
Kit will hold back slightly, maybe just put her body up against the wall until Essie catches up, and she'll put a hand out. Are you all right?
I see a hand comes from nowhere,
Yeah.
and you hear Kit's voice.
By the holy gate,
What's wrong?
I saw my dad. He was injured, and
It's not.
I
It's not
left
real.
him. I left.
It's just a vision. It's not real.
Yeah, of course, it's fine. She'll like shake her head.
It's gonna be all right. She'll give her arm a little squeeze and say, "We just need to survive this."
Yeah, you're right. She'll like try to pull herself together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You begin moving.
So Lace would be the first one up. I guess he
Sure.
takes the lead. Staff
Yeah.
out.
So you take the lead. You've got Calamity behind you, Zagrin behind that. As you're going up, again, it transitions from kind of wood paneling to brick, right? A very old looking brick. In fact, you touch it and you can feel how rough the brick is.
I'm not touching the walls.
Okay.
Who would
it
do something like that?
It looks
Come
rough.
on.
And
Yeah.
as you continue moving up, right? This is only about 10 feet upstairs, right?
Mhm.
And as you get to the top, you're in a stone hallway, stone roof, stone brick walls, stone floor. As you look at the walls, right? And this is a very long hallway. Once again, easily
Mhm.
50 feet forward and then a sharp left turn. As you're looking at the wall, and all of you notice this, there are sconces with lights, but now not a flame, but instead some kind of mage light on the wall, gems set into holders that are providing a nice level of illumination. It's a very warm light, but it smells stale in this hallway. There is dust. The air doesn't move, and as you're looking, you can see on the wall there are sections of brick, but there are also sections where there are mosaics and murals built into the wall.
Mm.
You see a number of scenes depicting, like the first one you see, there's some sort of battle raging, and over the battle you see this figure of this very large and imposing man above the scene, just looking down. There are more scenes like this. There are people at worship. There are battles. There are folks working. Almost, actually, Zagrin, you almost recognize the working style from what you saw in Rosanna, in that vision you had. Folks laboring to build a monument, and over all of them, there's this picture of this figure standing there almost godlike in proportion over and above them. You pass at least 3 murals just on your way up to the corner.
Does this seem like the god portrayal? I mean, Essie's very familiar with like history and gods and things like that. Does it seem like demonic in nature, like almost like a demon lord?
Roll
or
me
god?
a history check to see what you get.
21.
Okay. So the figure does look generally like a man, but whether, race is undetermined. There's not a lot of features on them. But you do recognize a little bit about the art style. The style of these mosaics is very similar to the style of other relics that you've seen from the Age of Arcanum. Moreover, when you remember being at Shattengrad very briefly during your dig, when you fell into that section, which precipitated the removal of you and your family from the dig site, you saw murals that were in the same vein, not with this figure above in that way, but you saw that same artwork style.
Is there in any of these murals like a sense of imposing like darkness or shadow? Anything?
Nothing obvious about that, no.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This oracle. These murals are, I've seen them, similar murals before at Shattengrad. There's something going on here outside of just an oracle. Or maybe it's connected in some way, but this is similar to relics I've seen from the Age of Arcanum.
But what does it mean? Is it trying to teach us something? A lesson?
I mean, I don't know. During the calamity, when all the gods were fighting, I mean, I don't know if history's setting up to repeat itself. I don't know. But we uncovered something at Shattengrad, my family. And it looked a whole lot like this place. The murals, the depictions. Someone's... Go ahead.
on. Sorry.
I was just going to say, someone's trying to show us something. Maybe warn us?
What's directly in front of us here? This hallway with the sconces on either side, the murals.
So the hallway goes forward and you come to a left turn. Again, the walking is easy and smooth. So as you look down this hallway, it goes probably 120 feet. You can see an opening to the left, an opening to the right, and a door at the very far end. Again, this door looks like the door in a cottage, like wood, old, a little bit of, panels sunk in, somewhat inviting and totally incongruous with the rest of the architecture here in the hall.
We're gonna go straight up to it.
Begin walking
Open
down
it.
the hall. Soleus, you notice that the walls of the hallway are starting to become a bit damp in places.
Nothing like damp walls. Do they get damper the closer to this door I get?
As you've been walking down the hall, there's a damp patch, and do you take a second to investigate, or you're just going to move past?
I'm just moving right past it. I just want to know if it's generally getting
There are
wetter.
some damp patches as you move, but if you're moving quickly and everyone's moving along with Soleus, all right, so you're
We're on
moving
a time
quickly.
frame.
You've got now the opening to the left has become more pronounced. The opening to your right, you get up to it, and there is a hallway and then another one of these cottage-style doors at the end.
Which one?
What did the left one look like?
To the left, you don't see it. There's just an opening. The one that is at the far end of the hall and the one that's down this thing to the right, there's just a standard-looking kind of cottage door.
I guess right. Go through the door.
Right.
You go right, and you get to the door. Are we just opening it and going through?
Opening it first.
Okay. You open it. You see an office, or what looks like an office, but it looks destroyed. In fact, Kit, very similar to what you saw before. There are papers all over the place. It smells burnt. It smells burnt. It smells burnt. And now that you've opened it, you can hear like a moaning. Like a moaning coming from either side. Do you want to go in?
Oh no.
Moaning.
Be careful. Some creatures can mimic distress to.
What's the
to
order
lure
that
you.
we're in the hallway, just to be clear?
I
I'm
think I'm
still
at the back with Essie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
And then-
first.
Okay, then we've got Calamity and Zagrin.
Yep.
All right, are we lingering in the hallway or are we going right in?
Go, go, go.
Moaning?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think we're really lingering with how things
Anywhere.
have been going. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Go right in.
You step into this destroyed office and you see at along the wall. So one, shredded office, desks overturned, drawers out, books are torn out of shelves. Furniture has been cut into and ripped open. Almost as if someone did like a desperate search in here. And a number of things. There's a pile of papers and other things in the center of the room that look like they've been burned. But there's no fire now, right? It looks like it's all burned a while ago. Which is interesting, but what's a lot more interesting is along the walls to either side, there are in each wall, there are 3 bodies that are pinned up against the wall that have spikes driven through them, right? Spikes driven through them. And the bodies at first look limp, but you can hear that low moaning coming from some of these figures.
Are they alive?
As you look a little bit closer, you see one begin to move a little bit, and their eyes open and they look up at you and you see some blood dribble out of their mouth. They open their mouth and say, "That's all we have for tonight, folks.
Oh,
We'll
no,
see you
you
next
did
week."
I knew it.
Did not.
I saw the time. I was like,
That's
no,
all, folks.
No.
God.
Come on. Come on.
Ah,
Okay,
I
what's
have
that's all
so
for
many
tonight mean?
questions. So many
Ah,
questions.
yeah.
Nice one,
Oh
Jason.
my gosh.
I love this place. It's
All right.
amazing.
All right. So, with that, folks who have been watching us, thank you so much. Players, thank you so much. We really appreciate, again, back to the audience, we really appreciate you all taking the time to, watch this episode 12 of Best Left Buried with us. And we really hope to see you next Saturday from 1 to 4 Central Time for episode 13. What is going on in this house? Where's Chalea? Right? Like, what is the deal with these bodies on the wall? And what will our heroes find? Will they even survive? Or will we finally live up to our name
Oh,
and
no.
see if we can get some heroes to die?
Mhm.
Join us next time to find out. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right. Have a good night, everybody.